The opinions and views expressed in the following program are those of the speakers and the host, and do not necessarily reflect those of Yoakley Scott Corporation and your sports network.
Yeah, I've been closer to Jesus before, so can you help me out? Oh, can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Can you help me out? I've been scared to look at my soul. I've been afraid I would follow alone. Yeah, afraid of the things I've been told.
Greetings and salutations, and welcome aboard on a Thursday edition of Running Point, presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. Go ahead.
Look at
say-
Ron.
yeah,
Looking
go
at
ahead.
him all slick, man.
Yeah, go ahead, say it.
The slick Rick, Ron Batista.
Yeah, well, the hair's
Hey.
the hair's gotten a little long, so I have to do my Pat Riley look.
We need to get you a jukebox so you can be like, hey.
No, Fonzie
Hey.
didn't have his hair all the way
Well,
back
you know
like
what?
this.
He would have when he was your age, so it was going.
Wow! Oh my gosh! Well, I'm kind of honored that you're
Right.
comparing me to Arthur Fonzarelli. I mean, that's I'm not that cool, but
Start the Church of the Fonts.
which show was it? Family Guy
Yeah.
that did that? Oh my God! Hey, it's the Church of the Fonz. All right, show's already off the wheels in 2 minutes, and there you go. We got lots to talk about today. Anthony and I are going to be, revealing, I should say, our tournament selections.
Ron, it's a day before game day, and Sister Jean already cursed Georgia Tech. Their best player, ACC Player of the Year, out with COVID.
Well, she didn't do it.
I'm in a pit of despair. She did it. She put a voodoo doll with the shape of Moses.
Wait a
Wright.
second. Wait, we
Sister
don't do
Jean-
stuff like that.
Sister Jean has so many powers beyond our comprehension.
We don't do anything like that. We don't do voodoo
Yeah,
dolls.
Sister
It's,
Jean does. I know what
No,
this
come
we
on
is.
now. She doesn't do that
She's
stuff.
in there sitting with the homo.
Okay, well, what about the other
doing
old
like
geezer that you guys have?
Like the Indiana Jones Temple of Doom.
Oh, yeah.
Kamehameha.
Oh, Lord.
That's what she's doing to Georgia Tech right now.
It had nothing to do with maybe, I don't know, he hung out with people that might have had COVID.
How could he? He's been quarantined in Indianapolis since Monday.
I don't
Sister
know.
Jean went in there with a gas mask and a...
And I can see a 101-year-old nun in a wheelchair.
just wheeling up.
Pay no attention to this honest look. She's the devil incarnate as she puts the mask on and does the diabolical thing. Oh, stop! Come on now. And when Georgia Tech wins, what do we say then?
We beat the devil.
Oh, wow. All right. Okay, we've already offended lots of folks here, so there you go. We will be revealing our NCAA selections, but first and foremost, a local chap does well. Mr. Simons is headed to West by God, Virginia on a football scholarship. How about that?
Simon says, "Let's go to West Virginia."
Indeed.
And man, what a season he had on the football field. So well deserved.
He only played in 6 games because of injuries, but he still was able to get 26 catches, 517 yards. He's the all-time leader in receiving yards. He's the all-time leader in receiving touchdowns. He's third all time in receptions with 53, which is saying something because
He could have
Fitch
broken
doesn't.
that record with
And
full
Fitch
season.
doesn't normally, historically, they've not thrown the ball all that much. So that's saying something that he has 53 receptions. This kid has a chance to really do some pretty incredible things in Morgantown. He's 6'3", $190, perfect height for a receiver. He's fast. He can. I think he can stick on this West Virginia team and make an immediate impact.
And West Virginia will probably get a little bit more muscle on him, bulk him up a little bit, maybe get him into the 200 weight range, and then he'll be this. I mean, can you imagine 6'3"? He probably runs a solid 4'4", 4'3", 40. Plus, if he gets up to 200, 205, 210 pounds. That's a monster
That's
to
scary.
deal with. Try to defend.
Yeah, that's scary. And truth be told, he could probably be playing for Huggy Bear if in case of emergency. His game is such where he could be on the floor and they don't really lose a whole lot. This kid can play basketball too, and yet another example of a multi-sport athlete that college coaches are starting to really, really love.
That's been the theme of our our show for the last couple of weeks. Multiple sport athletes and how much they can excel. And hey, what do you know? The universe just gave us another opportunity to shine a light on how much it works.
Now let's think about this for a second. Now that his sport is going to be football, he's not going to be a multi-sport athlete at West by God, Virginia. So imagine him in the off season, to your point a couple of minutes ago, working out, getting some really good eats, nutrition, putting on some weight, keeping the speed that he has. 6'3", and this kid catches everything. He is going to be heard from in a monster way in Morgantown.
Now he's going to an offense, unlike Fitch, that does throw the ball.
Yeah.
A whole lot. He's going to the Big 12, which their motto is throw until you can't throw anymore.
Exactly. three throws and a first down is their motto in the Big 12 conference. I love the fact this kid's going to get an opportunity to play at West Virginia, a school in a league that throws the ball. He is going to be a big time addition to West Virginia's receiving corps.
Big 12 football, 3rd and 1. What do you think we should do? Yeah, let's chuck it deep.
Let's chuck
Touchdown.
it. Chuck it.
Chuck it.
Yeah, chuck it. 3rd and inches. Chuck it.
Chuck it. It's a button.
1st and 2. Chuck it.
Chuck it.
You're on the goal line. What are you going to do? Chuck it. And we're not doing no quarterback sneak. We're chucking it into the back of the end zone. Well, it's only 10 yards. I don't care. Chuck it. Oh, God. That's I love Big 12 football. Running backs. We don't need no running backs. What the hell's a running back?
What's a running back?
Oh, this is the guy that's going to be protecting our
Is
quarterback.
he the guy that runs go routes from the backfield, that running back?
No, he's the guy that's going to protect our quarterback when the lineman screws up. That's what our running back does. He doesn't get the ball. He's just going to be the guy that's going to be the guy that holds up the 290-pound monster headed to your quarterback.
You call him HB, we call him XB. What's that? Extra blocker.
That's it. He ain't touching the ball because we chuck it in this league. All right, so congratulations to Mr. Simons as he heads to Morgantown, West Virginia. And again, I think this is a great decision by West Virginia getting this young man into the fold. He's going to be a scary player in the next year or two.
Yeah, and then it's another. A lot of Ohio schools are probably looking like, what did we miss?
Exactly.
And unfortunately, you missed.
Exactly, and this is one of the things where, you probably should be doing your homework on these kids, and not everyone can. Not every state's going to be able to keep all of their athletes. We know this, and to your point, there's only one school that is a Power 5 school in the entire state of Ohio, and they reside in Columbus. Now, the closest team that probably could have maybe rattled some chains and gotten them into school is Cincinnati. The rest of the schools are in the Mid-American Conference, and that's kind of a low mid-major. And truth be told, if he's getting recruited by a Power 5 school, you probably want to go to the Power 5 school.
Yeah, but then it's always like, do you want... I mean, West Virginia is a Power 5 school, but they're not like, hey, we're going to go compete for national championships. So you don't have that weighing on you. And then the other ones are like, hey, you can come play 4 years because you'll be the best receiver in our group
and
once you step on campus.
Absolutely.
West Virginia, hey, you'll have to come. You'll probably work your butt off for 2 years, and then you can get your chance. Or I don't know what the wide receiver situation is in West Virginia, but I personally, I would rather work my butt off to get to that level than just accept that I'm going to be the best wide receiver on the field. I feel like there would be more pride in succeeding when you get to West Virginia and you're able to get on the field and take that opportunity. Then I mean, I don't want to backtrack. I'm trying not to offend the MAC people.
No, I
you know
I
what
get
I'm
it.
saying.
No, I get what
like,
you're saying.
If those options were put in front of me, if West Virginia wants me, I want to go there. Forget the fact that I'd have to work hard to get on the field.
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah. Now the other side of that would be, do you have aspirations of playing in the National Football League? If you do, you have an opportunity to play for 4 years and perfect your craft at a mid-major school. Where pretty good chance. I mean, you're going to have to work. It's nothing's given to you, but there's a pretty good chance that you're going to wind up playing for 4 years if you're as good as advertised.
But your odds are lowered of the NFL just because they are. You don't see as many mid-majors as you do Power 5.
No, this is true. But in today's world, they love pulling out diamonds in the rough. Quarterback of my favorite team happens to be a Power 5 conference team that they pulled out of thin air. So I'm okay with the
Josh
smaller.
Allen was not pulled out of thin air. He wasn't a Power 5 conference quarterback, but everyone knew who he was.
Well, I mean, pretty much everyone knew who he was.
It wasn't like, oh, look, Josh Allen. Who's this guy? I don't know. Let's take him.
Ben Roethlisberger was another one from a mid-American school where people knew who he was, but they were like, is this going to translate into, well, this just in. It does.
Tom Brady. I know he was Power 5, but he went all the way down to the sixth round. No one thought anything.
No one thought anything of Joe Montana. He was in the third round. Right. So it's weird that way. But look, I think that Simons is going to be really good at West Virginia and graduate. Please graduate.
West Virginia marketing. You just got a solid headline. I mean, Simon says.
Right? I mean, yeah. That's it. The West Virginia broadcasters are going to have some fun with this. Simon says, touchdown, the Mountaineers.
That's a catch.
Yeah, if he makes a catch and they have to go to replay, the replay officials determine it's a catch. Simon says it's a catch. Move the chains.
Move the chains.
Simon says, move the chains and keep this drive going. Simon says, I'm in the end zone, bitches.
And that interception is coming back because Simons didn't say.
Simon says he was interfered, and he was right. All of this is just going to be just a blast. So, West Virginia is going to have a lot of fun with that. So we'll most definitely look forward to seeing Todd Simons in a Mountaineers uniform. One other thing that we can most definitely talk about. You and I were joking an awful lot about the ramifications of what could be coming down the pike. Major League Baseball has decided to start doing some really interesting, potentially weird rules changes that are going to start in minor league baseball. Computer umpires for balls and strikes are going to be making their professional debut this year.
It's coming.
Major League Baseball plans to use the automated ball strike technology in 8 of 9 ballparks in the Low A Southeast League. This is formerly known as the Florida State League.
What is that? Is there... I don't even know what that technology looks like. Is there like a... no one behind the plate now? Is there
one's
like a
behind the
camera
plate.
behind the plate that catches the ball and
I
can
believe,
calculate where it's at?
I believe that's the case. And that umpire is going to essentially put a green light for a strike, red light for a ball. I don't think you're going to be announcing unless the home plate umpire is there and he is getting the feedback and saying strike or a ball. I don't like this at all.
The robot says it's a strike, and the umpire goes, "Nope, ball one."
Yeah, and you're like, well, wait a second.
And then he gets like a shot. Okay, strike. Dang.
I said strike, Dave.
Oh, strike.
I don't like this at all. First of all, I don't trust computers to tell me what's a strike and what's a ball. They tried this in the Atlantic League, and it wasn't very successful. I get the idea why they're doing this, because a lot of way too many umpires are using their own strike zone, which I have no.
Not too many. Every umpire has their idea, not their idea what the strike zone is, but when you see a ball, that looked like a strike to me, and I think if you probably took 10 umpires and showed them the exact same pitch, you'd probably get very mixed results on whether or not that was a strike, especially if it was on like the exact same pitch on the corner.
Yeah.
You'd probably get like 5 that said that's a strike and then 5 that said that's a ball, because it says human nature, and you're seeing a ball coming in at 90 miles an hour.
The one rule that should never be broken
There's a margin for error in human umpiring.
No, I get that. I get that. But the one rule that should never be broken is the hollow of the knee to just below the armpit, the bottom part of your armpit, which would be the letters.
But are you saying that you've never saw a ball that went maybe above that, and to you it looked like a strike, and you called it a strike?
Oh, of course.
So
of course,
it's not
absolutely.
It's not like they're breaking the rule. It's just sometimes this ball looks like a strike.
Yeah.
So you're going to call it a strike.
No, absolutely. I agree with that. But the computer's not going to be much better. That's the problem.
The computer every batter has a different, dimension. So they're going to have to calculate that on the fly and say, okay, this is where it's at. I know computers have gone really far and can probably do that like this.
Yeah.
Because there's a computer that can win Jeopardy.
Well, of course.
There's definitely a computer that can map that really quick, but Skynet's coming, and I'm scared.
I have a bad feeling that there's going to be a lot of pitches, and here's the other part, and you don't see it very often. If a ball is, especially with a knuckleball, if it crosses the plate where it's a strike and then drops down, my fear is that the computer isn't going to take that into effect and start calling stuff like that balls.
There's got to be some kind of sensor where the ball passes this point, and the computer can somehow calculate where it was at this point. Otherwise, the computer cannot go off of sight. It can't do that. You have to have an algorithm. You have to have, so you have to have some kind of way that the computer can know when the ball crosses this line, and then be able to tell where the ball was when it crossed this line. So,
we're gonna see what transpires. Angel Hernandez, who's probably the worst of the worst in Major League Baseball, his accuracy for calling balls and strikes was anywhere from 93 to 96%. And he's the worst of the worst when it comes to balls and strikes. I don't know if the computer is going to be any better than 93 to 96%. And the other part that bothers me is, what is the home plate umpire's responsibility now? Are we going to keep him behind the plate to make sure that if there's a foul ball, he's got a ball in his pouch, gives the ball to the catcher? Is he still making the safe and out call at the plate? Are all of his responsibilities behind the dish still in order? I'm not big on this at all. But unfortunately, we have a commissioner in Major League Baseball that loves to tinker with the game, which to me, it's not the game that needs tinkering. It's the marketing of the game and the stuff that goes on outside of the game that needs tinkering, not the game. The game itself is as good as it's ever been. It just we need marketing more than anything else.
But you've been on record, Ron, and to say that the game is not as good as it's been, and you don't like the direction it's going, because you don't like the way the hitters use launch angle.
Well, no, that part of it, yeah, and that part of it sucks. I agree with that. That part of it does suck. The striking out is, and that's just different philosophy. Unfortunately, that's a different philosophy within the game. Look, I mean, the stolen base is not as prevalent, nearly as prevalent as it used to be. Hit and runs are basically nil and void now. Bunting is considered to be a sin, which I've never understood. It's a different form of the game. I don't particularly care for launch angles or any of that other BS because it's BS. But
you can just turn yourself into a softball fan because bunting in short game is like the norm in softball.
How do you bunt in softball? I mean, is it the same way with fast pitch softball? It's the same way?
Yeah.
All right. Well, what happens if you foul the ball? Is it the same rules apply?
Foul ball, strike three, you're going.
Okay. All right. So then it's same rules apply.
But there's the slappers that kind of get away with like, oh, that wasn't a bunt because they finished their swing, but they're trying to bunt.
Well, of course.
But
yeah,
you've seen slappers.
You'll
you see a lot in Japan for the baseball.
Ichiro used to do that an awful lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Use that speed of his.
As long as you don't leave the box, you can get a running start.
Absolutely.
Slap the ball at left field.
Absolutely.
And in softball, it's even better because you have less time to get the ball, throw it to first because, of course, the dimensions are shorter.
Yep.
So if you can hit it to the third baseman and then you have a running start, you're almost guaranteed.
What are the dimensions on the bases? 60?
60 feet.
Yeah.
Instead of 90.
Wow. Yeah. So how fast can you run 20 yards? Pretty quick if you got a head start.
Most slappers can get to first in like 2.5, 3 seconds.
Nice.
So.
Yeah. There you go. All right. So computer umpires are going to be set for the league formerly known as the Florida State League. It's now the Low A Southeast League.
That's a mouthful.
That's okay. What else are we going to be doing? Minor league experiments this year also include pitch timers at AAA, AA, and Low A. 15 seconds with the bases empty, 20 seconds with the runners on.
No more standing around on the pitcher's mound for no good reason.
I can kind of take or leave that. Here's what I can definitely leave: a limit of 2 pickoff attempts per plate appearance at Low A, with an automatic balk for a failed attempt on a third. That to me is.
What do you mean a failed attempt?
If you try to pick a guy off and you don't pick him off, it's a balk, which to me is absurd. A requirement: pitchers must step off the rubber before pickoffs at high A ball. That's absurd. Because how the hell do you pick a person off if you're stepping off the rubber first? You're just basically
it's not even tried.
Yeah, you're basically announcing, "I'm trying to pick you off. Please go back to your base.
Stay there. Don't go back to your base. I'm going to throw over there. I'm going to get you out."
And AA is going to have both feet on the infield dirt and an option to require 2 infielders on each side of second base. And AAA is going to have 18-inch bases instead of 15-inch bases.
Wait, both feet on the infield?
They're trying to get rid of the shift. That's essentially what they're doing.
So you're saying your infielders have to...
So the infielders have to have at least both feet on the infield dirt. So you cannot go into shallow right field if you're playing second base to take a potential base hit away.
None of these rules are going to make it to Major League Baseball.
Why are you even trying to do this?
So you're not going to develop your hitters because they're going to get to the major leagues and be like, what the heck's this shift? How do I hit against a shift?
I thought you were about to say, what the heck is this?
No.
Which I wanted. I was kind of waiting for you to say that. I was like, all right, I finally got Anthony fired up here. All right. No, look, I mean, if this is your way of getting rid of the shift, it's not going to work. Look, you want to get rid of the shift? tell the guy at the plate to hit the ball the opposite way, or better yet, bunt up the third base line and go to first base and take what they've given you.
Ron,
That'll get rid of it.
That requires work. We don't like to work for things here.
Just
give it to us, make it easier for us, and we'll be fine.
This is yet another reason why I'm openly moan and groan about the state of baseball, because of stuff like this. This just, it's not the game that is the problem. The problem with baseball is y'all haven't marketed this game properly. Hire some people that know how to market your game and start playing your most important games, i.e. the World Series, at a time when young kids can actually, I don't know, watch the games instead of being in bed on a school night.
I do like the pitch clock, though.
I do like the pitch clock. That especially, you know.
And once again, I'm a softball fan. You got 10 seconds after you get the ball to get the pitch off in softball.
Yeah.
So I like the. So I can't stand watching a baseball game and seeing the pitcher just stand there, scratch his nose, take like 5, and then it's like step back, and then it's like Angels in the outfield. He sets, and he sets again, and he sets. Throw it a ball.
Come on, while we're young.
It's like, I mean, there's no reason that you can't get pitches off in 15 seconds.
Absolutely.
Especially with the bases.
Yeah, absolutely. The base is empty. You should be.
I mean,
let's go. Come on. Trust your catcher. He's calling the game. If he's not calling the game, the manager is calling the game. So trust these guys. Your catcher's telling you what to throw. Throw it. Let's go. Pick it up. I mean, this ain't rocket science. So it's just, from that aspect, I'll agree with it within reason, but the other stuff, forget about it. Bigger base. Why the hell do you need a bigger base? I don't quite understand that.
Bigger bases.
So you're going from 15 to 18 inches on the bases.
At first, you probably cut off the it's almost like a safety base where you cut off the possibility of getting caught up with the first baseman's foot. So I get that, but then like you're making it a little bit, because then the overslide's not going to happen as much while stealing, which is something that's really gone with replay. I mean, you better keep the glove on the person, because there's a lot of times when they slide off the base. Back in the day, it wouldn't matter because umpires wouldn't see that stuff. But now with replay, you take a little bit of your finger off the base when you're sliding into it, you're out.
Boom.
So making it a bigger base, this might be compensating for that a little bit. That's the only thing I can think of.
Again, we're making stuff way too easy.
But there have been some times when I'm really annoyed because like they clearly stole the base and they're like their finger comes off of the base for a second and you're out because the replay sees it. And it's like, oh, come on. He clearly stole the base.
I get it, but his finger was off the base. If you're off the base and the guy leaves the glove on you. Now here's the thing that I will do as an umpire. If some kid steals the base and the shortstop or the second baseman, whoever took the throw, keeps the bag or keeps the glove on the kid's going to call time. I'm like, time. All right, get up, dust yourself off. Let's go. I'm not gonna wait for the kid on that just stole the bag to have his hand off so you can get a cheap out.
Who's gonna move first? Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Now we're gonna call a timeout.
Let's play chicken.
Yeah, we're gonna call a timeout here. That's all there is to it. There's some rules that may or may not happen down the road in Major League Baseball. I don't like it. I don't like most of these rules. It's just craziness, and it's not the baseball that I grew up with for sure.
Computer is going to call balls and strikes.
Yeah. That was a ball.
Have you seen the SportsCenter commercial? Why didn't you eliminate them, Albert? Because Balls is the machine, so he's talking to the copier.
What's the movie where the computer basically kills humans? Oh crap!
There's a lot of
Ric Flair's theme song comes from this movie.
I'm not a wrestling.
Oh jeez. I'm gonna have to. I'm going to have to seriously
Someone
look it up.
call in and help my buddy.
Yeah, I'm going to have to seriously look it up. But the computer was like, Dave, I am the boss now. You will do what I tell you to do. And I'm like, oh, okay. So computerized umpires in the former Florida State League. Gee whiz, this should be fun. How do you argue balls and strikes with a computer?
You don't.
Yeah. So when a manager kind of like loses his mind,
I can't believe that was a strike. And then you just see a little red dot and you go, oh, okay. Fine, I get it.
You are to be exterminated. Oh, okay. This is your final warning. You are out of here. Goodbye.
Oh, God.
All right. Tonight is the start of the NCAA tournament. We have two 11-seed matchups and two 16-seed matchups.
I think the Michigan State UCLA is a 12-seed matchup.
No, it's an 11.
Gotta disagree with you.
It's an 11 because the winner gets number 6 BYU.
Could have swore it said 12.
Wichita State and Drake, the winner of that game gets USC out of the West. Norfolk State and Appalachian State, the winner of that game gets blasted by Gonzaga. And Mount St. Mary's and Texas Southern, the winner of that game gets blasted by Michigan. So, there you go. Let me ask before we even get into the we're going to take a timeout before we get into our round-by-round predictions. But
starting with tonight's games, we're going to pick these.
Okay. Do you see any of these winners making any noise whatsoever?
Michigan State.
Yeah, you and I are on the same wavelength.
They beat multiple teams in the Big Ten. They're going to beat UCLA, and I think they're going to beat them handily. And then they'd have a really good chance to beat BYU, and then they're going to be a tough second-round opponent.
Yeah, we'll get into all of this. And tell you what, we're going to take a timeout. Do we want to go? How do we want to do this? Do we want to go by regions?
Let's do regions. Break down each region.
All right, we'll start with regions. Anthony and I are going to give our picks, which, by the way, you can plainly see if you go to the ESPN Bracket Challenge.
No, you can't look at other people's brackets until the tournament starts, I don't think.
Yes, you are correct.
So you can see that I've inserted mine, but you can't look at mine until the tournament starts. That way you can't pinch off my picks.
Actually, proud moment in Casa de Potesta. If you noticed, I did it. I don't know how I did it. But I did.
Golf club.
By the way, speaking of golf.
Hey, wait, you can't look at you promised.
Well,
you made me look. You made me swear.
I kind of.
Did you glance?
I kind of glanced.
Cheat. You're not doing well, are you?
No. Let's just say the guy that I predicted is 8 shots back right now, and we're only in the first round. Yeah.
Wait, who'd you go with?
I went with the Joaquin.
Joaquin. I don't remember his last name.
Well, he's even through 16.
Oh.
By the way, 8 under is supposed to be was what your client and I both agreed on. I'm not going to throw him under the bus. Brian Tolnar and I both said 8 under is probably going to be the final score. They're 8 under right now in the first round.
They got 3 days to have their heads cave in. So.
Let's get to cracking here. 8 under is where I said that this would, and they're already at 8 under. Leads me to believe this might be a 20 under type of weekend. I don't know. All right, we're going to start with the West region. We'll take a timeout. Anthony and I will be back to unveil our NCAA basketball tournament predictions, region by region. This is all coming up after this timeout. The West region is first. It is a Thursday edition of Running Point presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown.
New things happen all day. Some are good, some not so good. In today's complicated world, while you're busy working, playing, and living life, we're busy helping you make sense of the day's news. and there's only one place where it comes together with clarity, context, and accountability. It's 21 News at 6 with me, Madison Tromler, and Derek Steyer.
21 News at 6. It's what the day's news really means to you.
Welcome home to a home made homier with Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods. Inspiration starts at BairdBrothers.com and is turned into reality when high-quality hardwoods are delivered right to your home. Baird Brothers has the latest design trends, shiplap and skinny lap interior siding, antique oak rustic flooring, and, well, you'll find them all at BairdBrothers.com. Ordered easily, delivered conveniently, enjoyed comfortably. BairdBrothers.com.
WRS Wealth Advisors, the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Located on South Avenue in Boardman.
Hi, this is Jim Myers with Myers Family Insurance, your local Medicare and retirement resource. We're excited to have sports back. Whether you're on the field or cheering from the stands, sports unifies communities and brings hope for the future. We're all one team working together. At Myers Family Insurance, we know the importance of a great team.
Our team continues to grow to help you with your Medicare and retirement needs.
The annual election period is October 15th through December 7th. Now's the time to make sure your plan continues to meet your needs for the upcoming year.
Call today.
Hi, I'm Colin Chupa. And I'm Kelsey Clem from K-Squared Marketing. Our boutique marketing firm specializes in media planning and buying, public relations, event marketing strategies, and strategic sponsorships. We can integrate our services with your existing game plan, or we can be your entire marketing team. Your goals, our game plan. Let's win together. Call K-Squared Marketing at 330-623-2730 or visit ksquared.marketing to learn more.
Welcome back to a Thursday edition of Running Point presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. Ron Potesta with you. Alongside Anthony Hartwig, we are about to dive into our NCAA basketball picks, and let's see how often we can agree with one another. First and foremost, we go to the West region where there are two play-in games tonight. Norfolk State and Appalachian State are going to be battling it out with the winner getting the unenviable task of taking on undefeated Gonzaga. Mr. Anthony, who do you like in this game?
I have Appalachian State winning this game. They're getting to the tournament for the first time since 2006. They're stoked for it. They're going to have a lot of momentum, a lot of energy in this game. They have great guard play. I'm going to take the Mountaineers.
Okay, I'm going to take...
They are the Mountaineers, right?
I believe they are, yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm going to take Norfolk State. This is an upperclassman type of a team.
Well, we already disagree.
Devontae Carter, keep an eye on him. He's their point guard. Best outside shooting team in their mid-major league, getting about 37% of their three-point shots.
Look at you. You brought the stats and the research.
I did.
All right, let's go.
I love the fact that this is an upperclassman type of team. That tells me that these kids have been together for 3, 4, maybe longer consecutive years. There's some cohesiveness on this team. And let's be honest, Appalachian State is only known for their upset of Michigan. Otherwise, they're a nobody. So give me Norfolk State. Yeah,
because Norfolk State's a somebody.
Well,
come on.
You're right. You're right. They will be a somebody if they beat Gonzaga. That's not happening, by the way. But I guess we all can dream.
Never say never, man, Papa.
Yeah, well, we all can dream. We all can.
It's
dream.
happened once, so there's a chance.
The 11 seed is going to be a battle between Drake, not the rapper, the college, and Wichita State. Who do you got?
This one was tough because I think Drake's a really good team, but Shaka Smart has been here before with the Shockers, and their defense is very chaotic. They like to draw a lot of turnovers. I'm going to go with Wichita State to win this game.
Drake has a couple of starters that are not playing tonight, and that's all that I needed to hear. Wichita State wins this game. I'm not a fan of Drake the rapper, and I'm going to take it out on Drake the college. So the fact that they're missing a couple of starters,
you know why I never liked Drake?
State.
You know why? Because he played a kid in a wheelchair in Degrassi, and he's a fake cripple, and that's just not going to fly with me.
Wow. All right.
Just messing.
There you go.
Drake, you make some fly music, but don't pretend to be in a wheelchair if you're not, man.
He's Canadian.
That's a poser. Don't
And
pose.
he's a Canadian. He's a hoser poser.
He's a hoser poser.
Yeah, he's a hoser poser, eh? I'm not a big Drake fan. It is what it is. But although he was a good stand-in for Jake from State Farm.
Drake from State.
Yeah. So.
Hey, stand-ins don't get lines.
Yeah.
All right. What's the next play-in game tonight?
Okay, so the 2 play-in games in the Western Conference. There you go. We'll go to the play-ins in the East, and then we'll go into our predictions. Since the West and the East will be playing on Saturday, the play-in games are tonight. Number 16, Mount St. Mary, and number 16, Texas Southern. Who do you got in this particular game?
Taking Texas Southern.
I'm going to actually agree with you on this, mainly because Texas Southern has a pretty good inside game, and they can rebound like nobody's business. So they actually, of all the 16 seeds, they actually have the best chance of knocking off a 1 when you consider the team that they'll be playing in Michigan is going to be without one of their better players, at least for the first couple of games and possibly longer. I'm not saying that there's going to be a 16 upsetting a 1, but if there were a 16 to upset a 1, Michigan would be that team that would be in the biggest danger. Although Hartford is not a bad basketball team either, but Baylor's playing pretty well. So. Number 11, Michigan State, taking on number 11, UCLA. This is not the John Wooden UCLA.
I think this
team.
is Michigan State by 10 or 12. I mean, they're just a better roster. They're a better team. They've played in the toughest conference in basketball all year. They're going to be battle tested. They've beaten several Big Ten schools we're talking about best teams in the they've beaten Illinois. They've beaten Michigan. So I think this is going to be Michigan State's night. And I think they have a good chance to go and upset BYU in the next round, too.
If Chris Smith, and this is UCLA's really good guard, had he not blown his knee out in late December, I really think UCLA would be on solid ground and probably a top 7 or a top 6 seed. Unfortunately, he was lost in late December. They've really never recovered. I think Michigan State absolutely stomps a mud hole in UCLA. If I can steal a line from WWE, they're going to stomp a mud hole in UCLA. And I'm with you. I think Michigan State has a really, really good chance to make some serious noise. At least pull off an upset or two.
Tom Izzo's been here before. That's going to be an experience battle where he knows what it takes to win tournament games, and that's not something that you can overlook.
Okay, so you got Gonzaga taking on Appalachian State. I have Gonzaga taking on Norfolk State as we go to the West region.
Gonzaga.
It's name your final score here. Gonzaga probably wins pretty handily.
I think that one's going to be the most lopsided one versus 16 because the offense of Gonzaga can run away from you real quick. Probably the best offense in the country when you look at their shooting percentage. So that might be a game that gets to the 96 to 45 type range where they win by 40 plus. That could be really bad really quick.
Okay, the winner of the 8-9 game will get Gonzaga. Number 8, Oklahoma. Number 9, Missouri. Who do you got?
I think this is the most lopsided 9-8 matchup of the tournament. I think Oklahoma is just a better team right now. Missouri, halfway through the season, Missouri was getting talked about. Maybe they might be a 1 or 2 seed. They were looking very good. They've been scuffling ever since January. They limp into the NCAA tournaments. And they're fortunate to have a 9 seed. So I think Oklahoma kind of does away with Missouri in an old Big 12 matchup.
All right, Oklahoma is led by a guy that's leading his team in scoring, rebound, and assists. Bonus points if you know this.
What?
The Oklahoma superstar player.
No, I'm good.
Austin Reeves. He's their everything.
But you don't know it either. You're reading it off the newspaper.
Exactly, I am. What do you think? I'm going to know this? You know, this is one of the reasons.
I was impressed when we started. I thought you did your research. You're just reading someone else's research.
This is one of the reasons why I had to. Well, actually,
it's a sham.
I'm not a sham. I'm just reading what I'm understanding here. Missouri actually does have a lot of talent.
They do.
And it's
too much talent to be a 9 seed, but they've been underachieving since January. I don't know what's been going on, but like I said, halfway through the season, we were talking about Missouri being maybe a 2 seed. They were playing really well, and they haven't been since, and they haven't been able to correct it.
See, this is where, and I don't know if they're going to be able to do this or not.
You can't just flip a switch in the tournament.
That's where I'm going with this. Can you at least say, hey, for one night, we're going to be playing at our absolute best? I think Missouri wins this game, and I think for one night you're going to see Missouri, the Missouri that everyone thought they were going to see out of the Southeastern Conference, formerly in the Big 12. And if they can do that, the Gonzaga-Missouri matchup could be really, really tough for Gonzaga if Missouri plays to its potential. But they haven't all year long. That's the problem. I'm going to take Missouri for one night and say, all right, they're going to get into the round of 32. This is one of my favorite matchups. Creighton versus UC Santa Barbara.
This one, I've went back and forth on, because initially I chose UC Santa Barbara based on how Creighton looked in their championship game. They looked terrible. They got smoked by Georgetown. It wasn't even close. But then I'm thinking, like, they're not going to – they know they played bad. They're going to come out and be extremely motivated to put their best foot forward in the in this game. So I was kind of – I was wishy-washy on this, and I still have time to change it.
Yeah, you do.
Right now I have UC Santa Barbara winning that game, but I am starting to lean towards Creighton because I can't see them playing that badly twice in a row.
The Gauchos are 18-1 since the first of the year.
Creighton's a great team.
No,
they played terrible in their championship.
Yeah, no, they're a solid team. I agree with that. They are a solid team. But UC Santa Barbara is 18-1 since January 1st. They are playing out of their mind solid basketball.
And I'm always leery about UC Santa Barbara is one of the teams that everyone's starting to like in upsets. Like you look at national media.
Yeah.
That's going to rub Creighton the wrong way so bad. And I'm weary about picking those teams too. So I'm right now it's locked in at UC Santa Barbara, but like I said, I still have time to switch that. I'm wishy-washy.
I like UC Santa Barbara in this game because of the fact they've been playing red-hot basketball since January the 1st. Now, obviously, you're going to be going up the further down the line you go, the better talent you're going to be going up against, and sooner or later you are going to lose. UC Santa Barbara is not getting out of the West. Well, here's a spoiler alert for everyone.
You don't have them in the Final Four?
No, I don't. But I do have them upsetting number 5, Creighton. Virginia is going to be taking on Ohio. You and I have talked a little bit about this matchup.
This is the one that I put money on.
This is one of those games, and I'm now leery about this. First of all, Tony Bennett is a hell of a coach. He's the other Tony Bennett, not the Tony Bennett. The Tony Bennett is 90-some-odd years old, and he left his heart in San Francisco. This Tony Bennett's just a basketball coach, but he's a really good basketball coach. The problem with Virginia is they've had to deal with COVID. They're not going to be heading to Indianapolis until Friday. They're scheduled to play on Saturday, and none of us knows whether or not this team is really ready to go or not.
Yeah, and they haven't played a game in over 2 weeks. So, this one, I thought it was going to be a tough matchup, even if Virginia squared up with them even. Ohio's got great guards. I think they're going to be able to do some damage against that pack line defense that likes to keep you out of the post. I picked Ohio in this one, and this is one of my more confident upsets. So I have Ohio beating Virginia, and that one's locked in.
Ohio's averaging over 80 points a game. If someone wants to go to Pennsylvania or West Virginia to legally do something, might I suggest that you pick the over in this game? I don't even know what the number is, and I'd have to look it up.
That'd be scary, though, because Virginia's defense is legit. So they might hold Ohio well below their scoring average.
And I get that. I get that. But I'm basing all of this on the fact that Virginia has not played a game in 2 weeks.
Right.
They are going to be rusty. Here's a safe bet, or a perceived safe bet. You can bet on halves. I would bet on the first half for Ohio University. My concern with this game is much like your concern with the Gauchos and Creighton. Way too many media people have picked on and said outwardly that Ohio is going to upset Virginia. And I got to believe that Tony Bennett is going to have his team mad as all get out at the lack of respect. I do have Ohio winning this game mainly because the rust factor is going to be there. But I'll put an asterisk on this game, but I will pick Ohio for right now. All right, number 6, USC. We normally don't talk about USC when it comes to college basketball, but they're in the tournament. They're the 6th seed, and they will be taking on the winner of Wichita State and Drake.
And that Pac-12 is a little underrated because a lot of people don't get to see them because they play their games pretty late. And they're not on the ESPN family of networks as far as their conference goes. But the Pac-12 is a legit conference with a lot of good teams. USC is one of those really good teams. And I think they're going to win this game.
So do I. And side note, if the Cavaliers are eligible to get this guy once he decides to come out, because I think he is going to be a one and done. If you're hearing this, members of the front office, Evan Mobley is a stud. Pick him if you have an opportunity, because this kid is ridiculous. He's good. He can block shots. He can rebound. He would look good in a Cavaliers uniform. I'm just saying. I'll take USC in this game. Kansas is the 3 seed. They will be taking on Eastern Washington. Kansas is a lot like Virginia.
Yeah, but they have a much. I think their matchup is a little bit more favorable when you look at these two teams and what they both bring to the table. I think it plays into Kansas's hands, and I think Kansas is going to win this game.
I'm with you. I do think Kansas wins this game, but Kansas has the same problem as Virginia. They do have some COVID issues.
With those teams, once you win a game, if you get out of the first weekend, those issues go away and you're back to your normal. But I think even if you win a game, those kind of scary issues go away because getting out of that first uncertainty, can we regather and play as a group after not playing for 2 weeks? That's what's going to be scary for both these teams. And I think Kansas has a really good chance to win. I think they could beat this team without 2 or 3 of their players just because of the matchups.
All right, Oregon is the 7th seed. They will be taking on Virginia Commonwealth, the 10 seed.
I think Oregon got underseeded a little bit. I think their roster is the best one in the Pac-12, to be honest. I know they didn't really show up in the Pac-12 tournament, but their roster is legit. I have Oregon winning this game.
Oregon's been one of those teams that let me throw a statistic out here. They have had 11 consecutive winning seasons at Oregon. When I think of Oregon, I don't think of their basketball team. I'm thinking of their football team and their god-awful uniforms.
Some of them are pretty cool.
Yeah, but some of them give me a migraine headache because they look too much like a highlighter.
Some of your sports takes give me a hike.
This is true. Headache, so I'm with you. I like Oregon. This is a team that's going to give a lot of folks some problems, especially their next opponent. Which would be number 2, Iowa.
I have Iowa. Do we have to talk about? Iowa's going to win this game.
Yeah, the Grand Canyon's a nice place to visit. They're not going to beat Iowa.
I think Iowa's the best 2 seed in the tournament. So I know that they're technically not because you match up the lowest 2 seed with the highest 1 seed. So according to the selection committee, Iowa is the lowest rung on the 2 seed. I don't think so.
I don't agree with that at all.
But I think they're going to win that game.
All right, so we go into the second round. Gonzaga, you say against Oklahoma. I'm saying against Missouri. Does it really matter?
No, because Gonzaga's offense is going to beat both those teams that rely a little bit more on their defense and their rebounding. I have Gonzaga winning that game and going to the Sweet 16.
I have Gonzaga struggling against Missouri, but that's their wake-up call. I think Missouri plays unbelievably great in the second round.
If it's Gonzaga versus Missouri, it's more of a chance that it's going to be a runaway, in my opinion.
Okay. All right. I got Gonzaga winning. You have, and I think we both agree on this.
12 versus 11. So.
Yeah, University of California at Santa Barbara and Ohio. Who do you got, the Gauchos or the Bobcats?
The Gauchos are going to the Sweet 16.
I have the same. I have the Gauchos beating Ohio. USC and Kansas.
I have Kansas winning right now.
I have USC winning.
There's time.
I have USC winning. I'm all about the University of Spoiled Children right now. So
we want to go rock chalk in this one. So
okay,
3 versus 6.
All right, I'll take USC, and we both picked Oregon. We both picked Iowa. Who do you got?
Got Iowa winning that game and going to the Sweet 16.
I have Iowa in there as well. All right, so we both have. We're 3. We both agree on 3 of the 4.
Right.
The top part of the bracket is clean. Gonzaga and the Gauchos. Does the Gauchos magic carpet ride end?
It absolutely does.
Okay, I'm with you on that one. You have Kansas against Iowa. I have USC against Iowa. Who do you like?
Iowa wins this game. They're just so good, especially defensively. They're going to be really tough to score against. Iowa wins this game and gets to the Elite Eight.
I have Iowa as well. This is a hell of a matchup. Gonzaga and Iowa. Who do you got?
I got Iowa winning in the final, going to the Final Four. I think the defense is finally going to catch up to Gonzaga. They rely so much on their offense, and I think if someone slows them down a little bit, it might throw them off their game. And I think Iowa's the perfect team to slow them down.
See, this was where I wanted.
And I think also Gonzaga's strength of schedule might come back to bite them a little bit. And Iowa playing in the Big Ten that has been so good this year.
And all of these reasons, I wanted to put Iowa in the Final Four.
You fell into the trap where you didn't want to put multiple teams from the Big Ten.
Exactly. Because my original Final Four was going to be all Big Ten. Oh. And then I was like, no, I can't do that.
It's very possible. I don't care what the odds are.
You're right, it is.
But all these teams in these regions out of the Big Ten, the Big Ten has been like way up here this year.
Yes.
And everyone else has been like down here.
And then the Big Ten has underachieved in a horrible way every NCAA tournament. So that kind of turned me off.
Minus Michigan State. I mean, they're usually pretty good.
Exactly.
They've gotten upset a couple times, but
yeah. So as much as I would love to put Iowa in this, I don't have Iowa beating Gonzaga. So I have Gonzaga going to the Final Four. But honestly, I could see Gonzaga losing in the second round to Missouri, and I can see them losing in the Elite Eight to Iowa. So I have them in the Final Four.
So you got Gonzaga, I got Iowa. All right.
I'm kind of tempted to pull Gonzaga out of there because here's the other thing: how many times has Gonzaga gone to the Final Four? I'm gonna say 0.
I think they've done it before.
Have they? Because I want to say they've never gone to the Final Four. I might be wrong on that.
They've been high seeded before.
Yes,
for sure.
And they've every time they're high seeded, they crap on themselves. I'm just throwing that out there. Okay, let's go to the East, and then we'll take a break. Actually, let's take a break now, and then we'll go to the East region. You got Iowa right now. I have Gonzaga, and I'm really tempted to change that because I'm with you. It's just the whole Big Ten underachieves except for Michigan State stigma that I'm trying to fight. But yeah, we'll take a timeout. We'll talk about the Eastern region and who is going to be coming out of the East. That's coming up in a bit. Stick around.
Hello, I'm Greg Burbick with G. Burbick Farms. For the last 100 years, my family has farmed in Columbiana and Mahoning counties. I began raising cattle in 1996 with the goal of providing a better product for you and your family on the dinner table. Our grass-fed and grain-supplemented Black Angus beef are raised with no hormones, steroids, or antibiotics. We're known for our hometown-friendly service and incredible tasting products. We're locally owned and have customers across the tri-state area. Our products go from our farm to your family. Stop by our farm on New Buffalo Road or visit us on the web at gburbickfarms.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook. G. Burbick Farms, it just tastes better.
Hi, this is Tommy Clem, owner of WRS Insurance Solutions.
WRS Insurance Solutions is a local independent agency that specializes in life, Medicare, long-term care, and disability products. Call us at 330-953-3722 or visit us at wrsinsuranceSolutions.com to learn more.
Good luck to all the student athletes in the Valley.
Right now is a great time to get more for your trade-in at Tri-State Ford and drive home in a new or pre-owned vehicle. Choose from our great selection of new Ford models or pre-owned vehicles. Plus, get the Tri-State Ford Advantage, including a 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty and more. At Tri-State Ford, we'll pay you top dollar for your trade, but you don't have to purchase one of ours to sell us yours.
Customer focus, community driven. Tri-State Ford East Liverpool or visit tristateford.net.
Welcome back to a Thursday edition of Running Point presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. Ron Potesta with you alongside Anthony Hartwig. We are through the West region. Now we go across the country to the Eastern region, where we will find the top seed Michigan Wolverines taking on the winner of Texas Southern and Mount St. Mary. I believe you had, did we both have Texas Southern?
Both had Texas Southern.
Okay. Any shot at beating Michigan?
No. I know Michigan's banged up right now, but luckily for them, they did enough to get the 1 seed, and they won't need to be at full strength to beat Texas Southern. But the one thing that's going against them is Texas Southern is a really good rebounding team, and Michigan's missing their post.
Yeah, that could make things interesting.
Could make it closer than like a 30 or 40 point blowout, but I still think Michigan wins handily.
All right, we'll both agree on that. I think Michigan does win. Number 8 LSU will be taking on number 9 St. Bonaventure, who, by the way, their baseball team is coming into to the area for a weekend series with the YSU baseball team. Their basketball team is headed to Indianapolis out of the A-10. They play LSU out of the Southeastern Conference. On paper, this is a mismatch, but this could be interesting.
GEAUX Tigers. LSU wins this game and goes to the next round.
I agree with you, but I think that St. Bonaventure gives them problems. But I do think the Tigers find a way to get it done. Number 5, Colorado, playing number 12, Georgetown.
This is another one that's been a media circuit. You know, everyone loves Georgetown and the Darlings. You know, Patrick Ewing coaching them. They had a great tournament run in the American. But you can't forget that Georgetown looked like a dumpster fire not too long ago in this season and had a really magical end of the season when the tournament got into the NCAA tournament. What scares me is, can Georgetown take that magic and turn it back on in Indianapolis? I have them winning because Colorado doesn't impress me that much, but that's an iffy one. I'm not super confident. I picked Georgetown, but I'm not like ready to put the house on that one.
I flip-flopped in the last day. I had Georgetown written down. And then everyone decided to jump on Georgetown as if Georgetown was the Georgetown of the mid-'80s, where they scared the bejeebers out of everybody and dominated every team that they played, except, of course, for Villanova in the 85 championship game. I'm going to take Colorado in this game. I just think that Georgetown, up until their tournament run, they were mediocre at best. I love what Patrick Ewing is doing, but they're not ready quite yet. I'm going to take the Colorado Buffaloes, who might have one of the best point guards no one's heard of, and yours truly included in this. I had to read about him. McKinley Wright. He is the first player out of the Pac-12 conference to have 1,700 points, 600 assists, and 600 rebounds. That's not too shabby.
That's impressive.
Yeah, that's not too shabby. And, oh, by the way, he's hitting over 83% from the free throw line. That's pretty good as well. But he's only one player. I like Colorado to beat Georgetown. Florida State is the 4 seed. They play number 13 UNC Greensboro. Who do you got in this one?
Florida State, they have a really good length. They're hard to run an offense against because of their wingspan and their height. Despite them losing in the ACC championship game, I think they're a pretty good team. They win this game.
They have balance, too. You can't key on one person. They have 9
players that play. And that's why they haven't had a first-team ACC member since 2009 because their coach plays 9 players consistently, and they don't get a lot of the numbers. So it's like the conversation we were having yesterday with the district all first team and second team. There are some players that sacrifice 10 points a game for team wins, which means they don't get on that list because it's based on numbers. Same thing with Florida State. They have so much balance that it keeps them off of the All-ACC honors, and that might make people think that they don't have talent, and that's wrong. Florida State wins this game.
One of the reasons why I like Florida State in this game is because you can't key on someone. That's the balance of this offense is such where you're not going to be able to key on one person. You're going to have to play defense all across the board against this very talented team. They're underseeded, believe it or not, at number 4.
The only thing that scares me about Florida State is they have been turnover happy in the last couple games they've played. They got to take care of the ball. They can't have live ball turnovers. They can't be careless with it. They had 20-plus turnovers in their ACC semifinal game, and they had 20-plus again against Georgia Tech. So got to take care of the ball, and that's the only thing that might hurt them.
All right, BYU is the 6th seed. We both believe Michigan State knocks off UCLA. Is BYU in trouble in this game?
Yes, they are. I think Michigan State wins this game. Like I said, they're a really talented roster. First 4 in kind of surprised me with the wins that they've had. So I think Michigan State underseeded a little bit, wins this game against the BYU.
Yeah, they have beaten 3 top 5 teams recently. This team's ready to go. I love Michigan State in this game against BYU. Number 3, Texas, the Longhorns. Shaka Smart is the head coach at Texas. He was rumored to be out the door, and then the team
he
caught
has hair
fire.
Now too. It throws me off. When I picture Shaka Smart, I picture the bald guy with a little goatee. No, he's got hair now. So I saw him on TV against Oklahoma State in the Big 12 championship, and I'm going, who's this guy? This isn't Shaka Smart. He's got curly hair. What's this? But he runs the havoc press defense that gets people into a lot of turnovers, and they're a problem.
They're going to be playing another team that loves to play defense out of Abilene, Texas. Abilene Christian is the 14 seed. 23-4 was their record. They're not very big. They do have one kid that's 7 foot tall. Other than that, they're a very small team, but they play defense extremely well. Defense wins games.
Their size is going to hurt them.
Yeah.
They're a smaller team. They play good defense, but they're smaller, and that's going to wear them down. They might be able to keep it close for a half and a chunk, but I think eventually Texas is going to wear them down. Hook 'em horns.
I'm going with Abilene Christian. I got a weird feeling about this game.
You know what? I might. Thank you, because that would just tick off Matthew McConaughey, and that would make my heart happy. because I do not like that guy.
All right. I'm going with Abilene Christian, so there you go. UConn is not UConn Cornelius, our hero from Rudolph.
It's not the UConn women either.
No. The UConn men will be taking on a very underrated and underseeded Maryland Terrapins team out of the Big Ten.
Maryland. The Big Ten's going to rule this tournament, I think, and this is one of those matchups where Maryland may be a little underseeded, and it's gonna do them a favor.
Maryland's finally starting to play defense, and they're finally starting to play really good basketball, and they both happen simultaneously. I love Maryland in this game, and I think Maryland has the potential to make a really interesting run, provided they get past their next opponent, which will in all likelihood is Alabama. They play number 15 Iona. Although, let me just stop right now. Iona is coached by Rick Pitino. And say what you will about Pitino the person, Pitino the coach, this guy's unbeliable.
Man, he can recruit really well, can't he?
Yeah, yes he can.
Wink, wink, nuts,
yes,
nuts.
yes, he can. Yes, he can. Yeah, he's a clubby. Wink, wink.
Alabama wins this game. They might be playing some of the best basketball in this bracket. I watched them in the SEC tournament. What they did to win the SEC and how they played against Arkansas in the final game, very impressive. I'm very impressed with the Crimson Tide. I think they win this game handily.
Alabama gets the crap scared out of them.
I don't think so.
But at the end, Alabama wins the game. But not before Rick Pitino puts the fear of God in the Crimson Tide.
You can't coach the talent disparity.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. I'm gonna say that Iona keeps it really, really close. But Alabama does win. I'll give you that. All right. Michigan and LSU. Who do you got?
Michigan wins this game. I know they're banged up, but I think they get out of the weekend and get to the Sweet 16.
This is where Michigan is going to have to win this game, because if they can win this game, then I think that they're going to get everyone healthy again. I think LSU gives them a serious game, but I think at the end of the day, Michigan pulls off the victory. Colorado, you say Georgetown. FSU, Florida State University, or when Jameis Winston was there, Free Seafood University. Who do you like in this game, sir?
Florida State wins this game. Like I said, I think their length and their depth is going to be really hard to deal with in this tournament, especially in the second game of the weekend.
I'm with you. I think Florida State University is going to win, setting up a monster matchup with Michigan in the Sweet 16. Okay, you have, we both have Michigan State. You have them playing Texas. I have them playing Abilene Christian. Who do you got in this?
I have Texas winning this game and going to the Sweet 16. I think they have too many scorers on the floor, and playing a second game in the weekend is going to kind of hurt. So I have Texas winning this game, especially for Michigan State. If they'll have to play tonight, Saturday, and then Monday to play Texas. I think that they might be a little bit gassed. Texas's freshness might be an advantage in this game, so I'm going to have Texas winning.
If this were Michigan State and Texas, you bring a very interesting argument to the table, but since I believe Abilene Christian is going to upset the number 3 Longhorns, and the fact that Michigan State is a team that has played unbelievably well in the NCAA tournament, Sparty Nation goes to the Sweet 16.
If it was matched up against Abilene Christian, I would take that in a heartbeat.
No, they're okay. There you go. Maryland against Alabama.
Alabama. Crimson Tide wins this game. Like I said, I think they've been playing some of the best basketball in this tournament, and I don't think that stops.
I got Alabama as well. We both agree Michigan and Florida State University in the Sweet 16. Who do you got?
I got Florida State. I'm really impressed with them. I think their length, like I said, I keep saying it, their length and their depth is going to really bode well in this tournament. I have Florida State upsetting Michigan, getting to the Sweet 16.
This is where I am hoping and praying that Michigan gets healthy. If they don't, Florida State gets the victory. but I'm banking on my picks as if Michigan gets healthy. So I'm going to put Michigan in the Elite Eight. You have Texas and Alabama. I have Michigan State and Alabama. Who do you got?
Alabama's going to the Elite Eight.
I agree with you. I have Alabama going to the Elite Eight. Originally, I had Maryland in the Elite Eight, and then I was like, nah, that's too much Big Ten. That's way too much Big Ten there. So I have Michigan against Alabama. You have Florida State against Alabama. Who says you to be to the Final Four?
I have Bama in the Final Four.
Okay, I have Michigan.
I have to back up what I've been saying. I think they've been playing the best basketball. So, if I say that, why wouldn't they make the Final Four? So
okay.
So Alabama wins that region, goes to the Final Four.
Okay, I have Michigan going to the Final Four. So we are completely way off on the first two picks of our Final Four. You have Iowa and Alabama. Yep. I have Gonzaga and Michigan. I have chalk, which is really bizarre coming from someone that doesn't bet chalk at all. But I have chalk in my Final Four. Although you have really made a compelling argument for Iowa, I'm half tempted to do some changes here. But we'll stay as of right now. We'll stay where we are. Let's knock out the South, but we'll take a timeout first. The South rises again after this timeout.
Stop it.
The South region.
Robert E. Lee got nothing, man.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
They kept NASCAR. That's about it.
We will take a timeout, and we will be back to preview the South region of the NCAA tournament
with Georgia stuff on. So
yeah,
I'm making fun of the South while I'm a fan of a South team. So
well, yeah, that's how you roll.
Sometimes the irony hits you in the face.
Yeah, that's how you roll. We'll take a timeout. Be back in a bit. Stick around. It's a Thursday edition of Running Point on YSNLive.com.
Your teams work hard and give it all they've got. Well, so does ours, because 21 Sports and YSN give you extra effort when covering local sports. 21 Sports and YSN, winning coverage of our Valley's teams.
No matter what the weather, be prepared with a reliable, efficient Rude gas furnace or air conditioner from MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning. Call your energy-efficient expert, MP Vivo, today for a free estimate.
Here at MP Vivo, we rely on Rude, and so should you.
Myers Family Insurance knows the importance of a great team.
Our team continues to grow to help you with your Medicare and retirement needs.
The annual election period is October 15th through December 7th. Now's the time to make sure your plan continues to meet your needs for the upcoming year.
Call today.
It's storm season.
I think we're under the gun for some heavy storms over the next couple of hours.
And Storm Tracker 21 is ready.
This is probably the one we're keeping a closer eye on.
On air.
And locally, we're going to have a lot of eyes on our area.
Online.
All right, let's talk high-risk futurecast and the timing of this weather.
On social media and on our app.
Notice we'll have scattered showers on Thursday.
Stay ready with Storm Tracker 21.
The severe weather threat now through around sunset this evening.
Save more during the Extra Mile Auto Show with employee pricing for everyone on some of our most popular models. Plus, get an additional $1,000 on the value of your trade. Schedule a test drive today to experience the 2021 lineup for yourself.
Welcome back to a Thursday edition of Running Points. Ron Potesta with you alongside Anthony Hartwig. We are going through our NCAA tournament selections. We're halfway through. Anthony has Iowa and Alabama. Iowa coming out of the West, Alabama coming out of the East. I have chalk, Gonzaga coming out of the West, Michigan coming out of the East. Now let us go to the South, where The top seed Baylor Bears will be taking on the Hartford Hawks, 1 versus 16. Is there any hope for the Hartford Hawks?
I think this will be the closest 1 versus 16 of the tournament, but Baylor still wins by 15. So,
okay,
closer than all the other ones, but still a pretty comfortable win for Baylor.
I think if there is a team, and I said Michigan would be the number 1 team that would be in the most danger. However, Hartford, they're not a bad basketball team. They play a really slow-paced game, so that's going to limit the possessions for Baylor, at least in theory. And if Baylor has a bad shooting night, that could really make things interesting.
Well, I think no.
He's not quite ready there. All right, here we go.
Very good. I think Hartford's the best 16 seed in the tournament, so I think they give Baylor a pretty decent fight.
Okay. We're both in agreement of that. I think that Baylor might be in a little bit of trouble, especially if they don't shoot the ball very well, given the fact that Hartford does slow the pace down, and the number of possessions will be a lot fewer. So if there is an upset 116, this would probably be the one. Even though Michigan, with their star player down, and the fact that Texas Southern knows how to rebound, that is another potential upset, but we don't see any 116 upsets. North Carolina playing Wisconsin.
I think this will be the most maybe the most competitive 9-8 game of the bracket. North Carolina has a lot of ways to score. They have so much talent on the offensive side. Haven't played good defense most of the year, and I think that's going to come back to bite them. I think Wisconsin's going to slow them down enough and get enough defensive stops to win this game. I have Wisconsin winning in a really close match.
So I have North Carolina, but the caveat on this is they must control the tempo of the game. I think if Wisconsin controls the tempo of the game, they win the game. Carolina loves to run. Carolina loves to play defense and go one and done. If Carolina is able if they're able to have the tempo go their way, they'll win the game. If it's a slow game, Wisconsin wins.
I don't trust North Carolina to get stops down the stretch when they need to get defensive stops.
Okay.
So that's why I picked Wisconsin. So we'll agree to disagree on that one.
I actually think this might be the best 8-9 matchup. This game screams overtime, to be honest. It's a really, really close game. North Carolina is finally playing the kind of basketball that everyone was hoping that this team would be playing at the end of the year. So that might pose to be quite an issue in the second round, at least in my bracket, not in yours. Number 5, Villanova taking on number 12, Winthrop.
Yeah, everyone kind of is on the Winthrop bandwagon, and yesterday you put some money on it. But I think Villanova is just a really good team. They've been here before. They've definitely had tournament success. They won the thing technically 3 years ago, but 2 tournaments ago, because we obviously didn't have a tournament last year. They're well coached. They're disciplined. They're not going to make silly fouls. They're probably going to stay away from silly turnovers to cost them close games. I think Villanova wins this game.
Here's why I'm picking Winthrop to win this game. And yes, I did put
It's Winthrop. There's a R-O-P, right?
Yes, it is Winthrop. I'm saying Thorpe. I'm sorry. It's Winthrop. Much like Fort Laramie. It wasn't Fort Laramie. It's Fort Loramie, Loramie.
Kind of like that. It's that short. Oh, I think it's Winthrop.
Yeah.
Winthrop.
Well,
not Winthrop, or it's Winthrop.
Yeah. Well, Winthrop has
There you go.
11 kids that are used during the course of the game. Not at the same time. That's kind of illegal. But they have a really deep bench.
We play this really cool 4-5-2 zone, and good luck beating it.
And they've only lost one game all year long. I think Winthrop upsets Villanova and they become the instant darlings of the NCAA tournament.
Do you remember where Winthrop is? Because we looked it up yesterday.
South Carolina.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Rock Hill, South Carolina. Yes.
Memory's still a little bit sharp for Ron.
Well, I am old, but the memory is still there. Number 4, Purdue taking on number 13, North Texas. Who do you
North Texas
got?
plays good defense, but not good enough to stop Trayvon and Purdue. I have Purdue winning this game.
The Mean Green could be a pesky opening round matchup, but I'm with you. I love Purdue in this game. Texas Tech taking on Utah State.
Very impressed with Texas Tech. Definitely how they were playing in the Big 12 tournament. I think they win this game, and they might be a sleeper to make some noise in this tournament.
Yeah, the Red Raiders are a solid team, and I have a fondness for Texas Tech. My first baseball gig was in Lubbock, which is where Texas Tech is. It is a cool campus. Very, very, very nice people down there. And I'm with you. Their basketball team played really well down the stretch. I like Texas Tech in this game. This is a potential nightmare for number 3 Arkansas. They go to the dentist as they take on number 14 Colgate in a 3-14 matchup. What do you think about this one?
Do you think Colgate gets a plaque if they win the game?
Wow! There we go. Well played, sir. Well played. Well played. I like that. No cavities for this man. Well played, sir. All brushing all the humor aside, do you think that Colgate has a chance to beat Arkansas in this game?
They have a chance. They have the offense. They're the highest scoring. Well, I think the second highest scoring team in the NCAA, averaging like 85 points a game, something like that.
86.4. Thank you very much.
It was close. They can score. They can run. Arkansas likes to play the same way. This should be a very high scoring game. I think Arkansas just has a little bit more talent and might be able to pull off some clutch moments. But this is going to be one of the ones that the Razorbacks have to squeak out of.
Colgate is on a 13-game winning streak, and as you mentioned, 86.4 points per game. This is going to be a really high-scoring affair, and I made mention of this yesterday. This is one of those games that Arkansas is going to have to sweat to hopefully come out of this with a victory, and if they do, Arkansas is going to take this razor sharp win, razor thin win, and they will elevate their game to the next level.
You seem pretty brushed up on Colgate.
Indeed. Thank you very much.
I've officially run out of toothpaste puns.
Yeah, we've run out of that. There's fluoride be damned. We're done with our toothbrush puns. The Gators will be taking on number 10 Florida Tech. Who do you like in this one?
I take Florida to win this game.
Okay, I am going to go Hokies on this one. They play a really good half-court defense, and if they can dictate the tempo, I do like Virginia Tech in this game. But again, they're going to have to dictate the tempo. If Florida does, then obviously Florida wins this game. But I'm going to predict that Virginia Tech upsets Florida.
I will say Florida did not look good in the SEC tournament, which kind of made me backstep a little bit. But I think on paper the roster is just better.
I think you're right. I think on paper they're the more talented team, but I do think that
sometimes it doesn't work in the tournament.
Yeah, I do think Virginia Tech finds a way to get it done. They will take on the winner of Ohio State and Oral Roberts. Who do you like in this one?
The Buckeyes. They've looked very impressive. They had a very impressive Big Ten championship. They lost in overtime to Illinois, and I think the Buckeyes are a really good team. They're gonna win this game, even if it's close for a minute. They have that never say die attitude, and you're definitely not going to be able to outlast Ohio State. So
Oral Roberts scares me if you're an Ohio State fan because they can hit the three, and Ohio State they find a way to.
I just want a Colgate versus Oral Roberts matchup.
Nice. that would be entertaining, to say the least. A dentist's dream come true, if you will. Oral health is on the line here. Look, I got Ohio State in this one, but I don't trust Ohio State. And the fact that they've blown a lot of really large leads down the stretch is my argument. But I will take Ohio State in this game. Okay, you got Baylor and Wisconsin in the second round. Who do you got?
Baylor's been playing really consistent. They're going to be tough to beat. I have Baylor getting to the Sweet 16.
I do have Baylor beating North Carolina to go to the Sweet 16. Do you have Villanova or do you have Winthrop?
Villanova.
Okay, so Villanova taking on Purdue. Who do you got?
Purdue. They're too good down low. I think they're going to give Villanova trouble in the post, and Purdue's going to win that game.
Okay, I had Winthrop beating Villanova, but I agree with you. I think Purdue gets the job done. They're a little too difficult, and we'll take Purdue. Texas Tech against Arkansas.
I actually have Texas Tech winning this game. Very impressed with the Raiders. I watched them in the Big 12 tournament. I think they're going to beat Arkansas, who will be coming off a very... Man, they're going to be gassed. They're going to be running like crazy to beat Colgate. So maybe a little bit of freshness issues, maybe a little bit of fatigue. Texas Tech takes advantage of that and upsets the Razorbacks.
I'm going to go with Arkansas. I think Arkansas gets the bejeebers scared out of them. And how many times have we seen a team that was on the edge, ready to lose a game in the first round? They get the victory, and I honestly believe this is one of those last-second victories for Arkansas over Colgate. I think that propels them to make an unbelievable run in this tournament. Arkansas knocks off Texas Tech. I got who do you have? Florida and Ohio State.
Ohio State wins this game. They get a little bit of revenge from the national championship with a little bit ago with Urban Meyer beating them in the national championship.
Okay, I have Ohio State beating Virginia Tech. So 3 of our 4 Sweet 16 teams where we agree on. The other one we don't agree on. You have Texas Tech. I have Arkansas. Baylor against Purdue. Who do you got?
I got Purdue winning this game.
So do I.
I like Purdue. Baylor, they're very consistent. They're very good. But they've also been a little bit shaky down the stretch because of COVID. I don't know how many of their players are going to be able to get back to mid-season shape. And if they're not 100%, they're not going to beat Purdue. So I'm just basing that pick on where Baylor is right now. They could get to mid-season form by that game and beat Purdue because they're a better team in 100%. But if they're not, then I think Purdue takes advantage of that, and I have them winning that game.
I think Purdue is the better team. I say that because they're coming from a better conference. Yes, Baylor is solid. There's no two ways about it. But I think that Purdue has it in them to play their kind of game and beat them. They're a very difficult team to beat, and I'll take Purdue over Baylor and go to the Elite Eight. All right, you have Texas Tech and Ohio State. Who do you got?
Now, when you're in a bracket poll that you want to win, sometimes you got to go against the grain a little bit and pick a team that you're confident in, but maybe you don't. Okay, maybe you don't think they'll win, but you think they have a chance to win, and you have to get some points somewhere.
Yes.
So I picked Texas Tech to upset the Buckeyes and go to the Elite Eight.
You and I are on the exact same wavelength. The team that I am picking to make a very deep run in this tournament is the Arkansas Razorbacks. I have Arkansas upsetting Ohio State going into the Elite Eight. So
man, we're both going to be watching that Texas Tech Arkansas game.
Oh my gosh, yes!
With a microscope because both of our teams are on the line.
If you win, I'm pretty much screwed. If I win, you're pretty much screwed. We both have Purdue. You have Texas Tech. I have Arkansas. Who do you like in the Elite Eight?
Purdue's going into the Final Four. So that's going to be my second Big Ten team. I really like Purdue. I think they got really good post play, and that tends to win late in the tournament. So I'll take Purdue.
Here is the gutsy of gutsiness.
Tennessee getting to the Final Four is not extremely gutsy.
I have Arkansas going into the Final Four.
I can see it. They got the talent.
Woo Pig Suey. I don't know if this is. I don't know if this is the Nolan Richardson 92 feet of hell that they play, or however long a basketball floor is. What is it? 92 feet.
Yes.
Yeah, 92 feet of hell. I believe that's what they used to call it when Nolan Richardson was the head basketball coach at Arkansas. He famously said, "We are going to defend every square inch of this basketball floor, baseline to baseline, end line to end line." So I don't know if they're that good, but I have Arkansas going to the Final Four. So if they lose to Texas Tech, all of my hopes and dreams circling down the drain.
You better hope they get past that close game in Colgate.
Well, yeah. If they lose to Colgate, then I'm really a laughing stock. Not that I'm not one already. It's just, yeah, I have Arkansas in the Final Four. So to review, you have Iowa coming out of the West.
Yep.
I have Gonzaga. You have Alabama coming out of the East.
Yep.
I have Michigan.
We both have Purdue.
You have Purdue. I have Arkansas.
Oh, no, you got Arkansas.
I have Arkansas coming out of the South. So, yeah, this will be interesting. This will be very entertaining, to say the least.
So really, it'll be a bigger loss for you if Texas Tech wins than it would be for me, because at least I would have Texas Tech in the Elite Eight. You would lose a Final Four.
Yeah, you don't have Texas Tech in the. Well, no, you do have them in the Elite Eight.
I have them in the Elite Eight against Purdue,
but I have them in the Final Four.
Right.
So it would be a huge loss for me, a big loss for you, a huge loss for me. So now. Then again, if Utah State upsets Texas Tech, well, then you're really screwed. If Colgate upsets Arkansas, I'm doing this to my bracket. Yeah, we're.
I would have laughed if you actually did it.
No, we're not doing it yet, but come Friday, we may be doing that since these are Friday matchups.
They are Friday games.
Oh Lordy!
Are they in the 12 to 12 o'clock hour? Because we might be sweating.
Oh gosh! Hold on a second. I'll have to look on this one.
You might see Ron and Anthony have total meltdowns on the watch party show tomorrow at noon. By the way,
Arkansas and Texas Tech are both 12 noon games.
While we look that up, we want to remind you that tomorrow we will not have Running Point. We will have our reaction show over there in the office with all the TVs going, and me and Ron will either be happy or really upset with those two matchups going on at noon. So that'll be fun to watch.
Okay, here's the latest from Vegas on the lines on the Texas Tech and Arkansas game. Take a gander as to how many points the wise guys have deemed the Utah State Texas Tech game. And it hasn't changed from the opening line, which I think is interesting.
I'll stay 7 points. Lower?
Yep.
5? 4?
4. That's where it is.
Jeez, I might be really sweating.
The Arkansas Colgate game opened at 9.5. It is right now at 8.5. By the way, if you were to put $100 on Colgate on the money line, you would get $333.
It's not bad.
Yeah, Utah State on the money line is worth $1.59, which really isn't all that much money. It's only a $59 profit, which leads me to believe: have we really underestimated Utah State?
God, I hope not.
I mean, they're only a 4-point dog. And I'm looking at this, and wait a second.
You're giving me stomach problems, Ron. You got to stop here. I'm getting some tummy flips now.
I'm just saying that is.
I need some comfort cookies.
Yeah, that's weird. I'm sorry, that's weird. All right, we're going to take a timeout. On the other side, we have the Midwest region, a region that could be interesting. We will take a timeout and be back to unveil our Midwest picks. That's all coming up. It is a Thursday edition of Running Points presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown.
Your first and last stop with your tax return should be with me. Tracy Bryden at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. No other dealer goes the extra mile to bring you the largest selection of vehicles at one convenient location. With guaranteed credit approval, I will find you the right vehicle and the right financing options for you. I am ready to go the extra mile to show you why no other dealer sells more cars, finances more, and gets you more for your refund than Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
When looking for home design inspiration, don't just be inspired, be Baird inspired. Whether new or remodeling, Baird Brothers has the latest trends like shiplap to refresh your home. Go from inspiration to installation with our wide selection of in-stock American hardwoods. From the rustic charm of antique oak to the warmth of traditional cherry, Baird Brothers has what you need to make your home inspiring. Baird Brothers, our family's heritage, your family's home.
News doesn't stop after the sun goes down. Sometimes you just have to hustle to get it. At 21 News, no matter how far it is, no matter what it takes to get there, we're working to bring you the best stories and the freshest content at 11 p.m. with the context and clarity that makes it worth staying up for, no matter what time it is. 21 News at 11 with me, Aaron Simonek, and Derek Steyer.
21 News at 11, news that's worth your time.
Your teams work hard and give it all they've got. Well, so does ours, because 21 Sports and YSN give you extra effort when covering local sports. 21 Sports and YSN, winning coverage of our Valley's teams.
No matter what the weather, be prepared with a reliable, efficient Rue gas furnace or air conditioner from MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning. Call your energy efficient expert, MP Vivo, today for a free estimate.
Here at MP Vivo, we rely on Rude, and so should you.
Myers Family Insurance knows the importance of a great team.
Our team continues to grow to help you with your Medicare and retirement needs.
The annual election period is October 15th through December 7th. Now's the time to make sure your plan continues to meet your needs for the upcoming year.
Call today.
It's storm season.
I think we're under the gun for some heavy storms over the next couple of hours.
And Storm Tracker 21 is ready.
This is probably the one we're keeping a closer eye on.
On air.
And locally, we're going to have a lot of eyes on our area.
Online.
All right, let's talk high-risk futurecast and the timing of this weather.
On social media and on our app.
Notice we'll have scattered showers on Thursday.
Stay ready with Storm Tracker 21.
The severe weather threat now through around sunset this evening.
Save more during the Extra Mile Auto Show with employee pricing for everyone on some of our most popular models. Plus, get an additional $1,000 on the value of your trade. Schedule a test drive today to experience the 2021 lineup for yourself.
Welcome back to a Thursday edition of Running Point, presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. Ron Potesta with you alongside Anthony Hartwig. Before we get into the East region, here are numbers for tonight if you are someone that is, I don't know, in the market to perhaps legally put some do-re-mi on the 4 games.
Fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, do.
Nice.
Had to finish you, so.
Little Sound of Music reference. I like it. Norfolk State against Appalachian State. Appalachian State, as of right now, a 3.5-point favorite to knock off Norfolk State tonight. Drake is a 2-point favorite against Wichita State. Mount St. Mary's is a 1.5-point favorite to knock off Texas Southern. And Michigan State is a 2-point favorite against the University of California at Los Angeles, otherwise known as UCLA.
Definitely put money on Michigan State. If I was someone that had a lot of money to just throw at sports betting.
Well, I mean, some of us may have gotten a $1,400 check. Just
That is
throwing that out
supposed to
there.
be used to help you, not go sports betting.
Well, that's true, but this could help you long term. I'm just saying.
I'll put it all.
and I'm not saying that I'm doing anything. I'm just saying that if you had a $1,400 check.
Ron just takes his check to Mountaineer like this. He's going, let's go.
Yeah, no.
Takes it straight to the blackjack table.
Oh,
Hit me.
hell no.
Hit me.
You got 19, sir. Hit me.
Hit me. 21. Oh.
Sir, do you have x-ray vision? Yes, I do. It's the fastest way to get thrown out. I would be willing to put a couple shekels down on not only Michigan State, but Wichita State.
Some shillings.
Getting some, put some Skittles down on Wichita State tonight.
I have shekels and shillings at home. I'll bring you some. You can put some shillings on Michigan.
What is a shilling?
It's the British. It's a coin. It's a shilling.
Okay. Yeah.
I have a lot of. Well, my brother collects coins, so we have a lot of foreign money in our house, just because he likes that kind of stuff.
Okay.
He has some yen.
He has yen?
He has some yen.
Okay.
Some
now shekels are from Israel?
I think so.
Yeah.
He has some rubies.
Okay.
Which is like Middle Eastern.
Nice.
So he's got a lot of stuff.
All right.
He got some old U.S. coins that are pretty rare.
I used to have one of the Morgan dollars.
What he did, because he's super artistic, so he took a crap load of pennies, and he made his bathroom floor pennies.
Nice.
So.
Okay.
Looks pretty cool.
There you go. That's
penny for your thought, man.
Yeah, penny for your thoughts.
Penny for your urine is what it is, because he put it in the bathroom. Back to the bracket.
Yeah. Wow. Where do we go from there? You got me all pissed off right now. Let's go to the Midwest bracket, shall we? Number one, Illinois.
I'm about to get pissed off when we talk about the game after this one.
Yeah, number one, Illinois. Yeah, you've already offended all the Catholics. Number one, Illinois taking on number 16, Drexel.
It's Illinois.
Illinois, yeah.
Let's just get this over with.
I'm with you on that one. Illinois for the win. Here is the game that Anthony is not too thrilled about. The Sister Jean.
You already cursed us.
And Loyola of Chicago taking on Anthony's favorite team out of Atlanta, Georgia, Georgia Tech. Apparently, one of their
Why can't we have
kids,
nice things? Why can't we have nice things? I mean, look, the ACC Player of the Year, Georgia Tech's best offensive threat, won't be playing this weekend because he has. I don't know if he tested positive for COVID. They just said COVID concerns. I don't know what that means. I wish I knew what that means because it would give me a lot more comfort to know if he actually has COVID or if it's because of something even stupider like contact tracing or something stupid like that. Either way, he's not playing against Loyola Chicago, which makes it a lot harder. I can't have the heart to not pick Georgia Tech in the first game. Just can't do it. Like, as much as I want to pick with my head, can't do it. Georgia Tech wins round one. I think their defense is hard to prepare for. They're going to have to win with defense. They forced a lot of turnovers. They forced Florida State into 20-plus. They didn't shoot well at all. They still scored 80 points because of the turnovers they forced. So hopefully Jose Alvarado, who is the ACC Defensive Player of the Year, who averages over 3 steals a game, can disrupt Loyola Chicago enough to get them a first-round win.
Loyola Chicago leads the nation. They allow just 55.7
It's going to be a low-scoring
points
game
again.
because both these teams play really good defense.
First one to 60 might win this ball game. That first one to 50 may even win this game.
But the Georgia Tech just got a lot easier to defend without Moses Wright. So
I will go Loyola in this one.
Smart.
Yeah, I'll go with Loyola in this one.
I'll be rooting for Georgia Tech like crazy, but I'm not overly confident in their chances.
Yeah. The sister had nothing to do with this.
Tune in to at like 4 o'clock. You might see me have a meltdown. I'm just saying. Because 4, that's when they play, Friday at 4.
Yes.
I'm going to be sitting like in the fetal position for probably the whole game because it's going to be a close knuckle dragging game where offenses could probably go on like a 3 or 4 minute standstill. It's not going to be a fun time.
I will not have you.
Just give me a win.
I will not have you insult another woman that is in a wheelchair.
I'll insult it. All I want.
She is much older than you.
Cripples can insult other cripples. when normal walking people do it, then it's kind of
okay.
But
well, she's a little older than you are.
I know,
yeah.
but our coach's grandfather is even older.
Well, this is true.
He didn't put any curses on anybody.
Well, she didn't do anything of that nature.
She threw her little praying beads.
Oh wow!
She sprinkled some nasty stuff on the hotel. She did something.
Oh goodness!
There's no way Loyola Chicago goes all the way to the Elite Eight without her not doing something that couple years ago. So she did something.
Number 5, Tennessee will be playing number 12, Oregon State.
This one's hard because
Tennessee is interesting.
I can't figure out Tennessee. Sometimes they look like they're one of the best teams in the country, and sometimes they look like they don't know what they're doing. Oregon State's impressive. They looked very impressive in the Big 12 tournament, Pac-12 tournament, I mean, where they won it. They beat Colorado to even get in this tournament. I'm going to pick Tennessee because they have the better roster, but if they decide to show up and be like the team that looks like they don't know what they're doing, they're going to get whacked. So they have the ability to show up and play really good basketball. I just don't know if they will. I'm picking Tennessee because they can, but I'm not uberly confident in that game.
I am once again being very gutsy with my picks. I'm taking Tennessee in this game. Tennessee is normally a dog when it comes to the NCAA tournament. They don't do well in the NCAA tournament historically.
I want to say like 2016 they went to like the Elite Eight, but they weren't supposed to. They were like a 5 or a 4 seed, and they went up against Michigan in the Elite Eight. But other than that, yeah, you're right. Not a lot of tournament success to speak of for Vol Nation.
But this team is very talented. It's just, and I agree with you. I don't know I don't know which Volunteers team is going to show up. I'm guessing that Tennessee shows up.
They are very well coached, which could help. I mean, coaching experience helps you in this. Coach Barnes spent a lot of time at Texas before he went to Tennessee. Very good coach. He'll have them ready to play. That might give them an edge. So I picked them because they have more talent. They're the better roster. But once again, Tennessee sometimes decides not to show up.
Yeah, this is going to be one of those games where Tennessee wins, but it's going to be last minute, last second. They'll survive this one.
By the way, the last time Tennessee was really supposed to do a lot, who'd they get beat by? Loyola Chicago.
Yes. Yeah. Well,
so
it's like
the taker of dreams.
It's like you're reading my bracket or something.
The taker of dreams.
Yeah.
Sister Jean.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Man, piling on a 101-year-old nun. Man, razor sharpening those elbows. Good Lord. Number 4, Oklahoma State against number 13, Liberty.
This is going to be the closest 4-13 matchup of the tournament, but I still have Oklahoma State winning.
Well, no, it won't be because I had Ohio beating Virginia.
I thought that was 11-6.
No, that's a 4-13.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Well,
that's a 4-13. I have Okie State winning this game. I think Liberty could beat them.
The Pokes,
but I'll take the Cowpokes over the Liberty Flames. Although that would be a pretty cool matchup if it were Loyola playing Liberty. You know, being that you think Sister Jean is someone that is, doing voodoo and whatnot against the team that's nicknamed the Flames.
It'd be the Catholic against the conservative Protestant college.
Well, that would be a kind of a cool matchup. I mean, I'm just saying. So, but it's not going to happen because Liberty's not beating Oklahoma State. So there you go. Number 6, San Diego State taking on Jim Boeheim's team in Syracuse. Who do you got?
I think San Diego State's a very good team, maybe the best 6 seed in the tournament. they win this game handily. I'm not overly impressed with Syracuse.
Syracuse kind of scares me because Boeheim in the tournament is hit and miss.
Right, you're right.
And at times they can really look like a team can.
His kid's a dang good basketball player. Bobby Boeheim, I think.
Mm-hmm.
First name, very good player. But I'm not overly impressed. I think their zone isn't as good as it usually is. It doesn't rotate like it usually does. And San Diego State's a really good team. I think they're going to win.
I'm going to take the Aztecs as well. I'll take San Diego State in this one. West Virginia is playing Morehead State. This is a 3-14 matchup.
Country roads, take me home.
Okay.
I'm not going to get too much into it because it's copyright infringement.
Yes.
But West Virginia wins this game.
West by God, Virginia. Although, let me just say, Bobby Huggins is an awful lot like Tennessee. They've underachieved in a big, big way. And I'll take West Virginia to knock off the 14 seed. But we'll see what they can do the rest of the way. Number 7, Clemson against number 10, Rutgers.
I don't know how Clemson got a 7 seed. I think they're one of the more overrated teams in this bracket. I have Rutgers winning this game.
I do too. It's been 30 years since Rutgers has been in the tournament, and they're going to pull off an upset here. I'll take Rutgers.
They sharpen their teeth in the Big Ten, so.
This next game is God. I wanted to take the underdog so bad in this because it's Cleveland State, and they have been such a great story all year long. But they're going up against a Houston team that has played really good basketball this year.
Houston is not sexy when you watch them play. What I mean by that, stop it. What I mean by that is they're not flashy. They don't do anything, super. They just play good defense and play conservative, pretty, not risk-taking offense, which makes them kind of boring to watch. A lot of people will watch Houston and be like, I'm not too impressed by this team. They're not doing much. But they're a really good defense, and I think the fact that the Horizon League they didn't completely take away the ability to do non-conference, but they really drastically shifted, how much you could do. Cleveland State played a bulk of their games in the Horizon League. I think that's going to come back to hurt them because there's no one in the Horizon League that comes close to the defense that Houston plays. I don't know if they'll be prepared for it, and I have Houston winning this game.
I will say this. If this game is close, Cleveland State will find a way to pull off an upset because 13 of their 19 wins have come by single digits. So if there is a chance that Cleveland State hangs with Houston,
which they should, because I said it yesterday. Houston is not a team that typically blows people out.
Yeah,
because they don't play a lot of flashy offense. They play really good defense. They try to keep the game in the 70s, 60s. So they probably won't run away with the game. So, Cleveland State will have their opportunities to open the door a little bit. They just have to take them.
Yeah, if Cleveland State is within a possession or two with about 4 minutes left in the game, they have a really good chance of pulling off the upset.
They're a young team. How is a young team going to handle the stage?
Yeah, exactly.
That's going to be something to look.
The last time Cleveland State made a magnificent run, go back to 1985, they upset Bobby Knight and the Indiana Hoosiers in the first round as a 14 seed. They're playing Houston in Bloomington on the campus of the University of Indiana, or Indiana University. I'd love to take Cleveland State. I just can't. Houston's a really good basketball team. Although 20.5 is the spread in this game, I'll gladly take Cleveland State in the 20.5 because I do think Cleveland State is within earshot of this team, say 10, 15 points. I think that Cleveland State will give Houston a game. All right, back up top, you have Georgia Tech playing Illinois. I have Illinois taking on Loyola.
Look, I'll be rooting like crazy for Georgia Tech. I'm not going to be mad if they win this game because I didn't pick them, but especially without Moses Wright, this game just screams blowout for Illinois. I hope not. I hope we can beat them. I'll be rooting for it, but Illinois wins this game if I'm picking with my head and not my heart.
Well, you won't be rooting for it because they're not getting past Loyola, but,
You and Sister Jean can just go take a walk.
Well, I can. I don't know if
You know what I meant.
Yeah.
You walk her. With her
and I would, because she's a nun, and I have to behave myself around nuns, being a good Catholic that I am. I'm going to take Illinois in this game. Illinois they're really good, they can be really, really good.
They're the best the great Big Ten has to offer. So they also have the best big man in the country that's really hard to guard. So Illinois, hands and feet, they win this game. I think it's not even close.
Okay. We both have Tennessee. We both have Okie State. Who do you get going to the Sweet 16?
Oklahoma State going to the Sweet 16, beating Tennessee. I don't think Tennessee's too inconsistent to win 2 games in a row like that in a weekend span, especially against a really good team like Oklahoma State.
Yeah, this is where I'm hoping and praying that Tennessee actually performs.
You singing Rocky Top?
Yeah, I'm going to sing Rocky Top, at least to the Sweet 16. I got Tennessee knocking off OK State. San Diego State taking on West by God, Virginia.
Got San Diego State going to the Sweet 16. The Aztecs rolling with them.
So do I. I have San Diego State mainly because, and I hate saying this, but Bobby Huggins, you can count on one hand the amount of times that he's taken a team really, really deep into the tournament. I got West Virginia getting bounced in the second round. Rutgers taking on Houston.
I got Houston winning this game. Too much defense. Rutgers not enough offense to match up.
Okay, I got Houston as well in this one. You have OK State taking on Illinois. I have Tennessee taking on Illinois. Doesn't matter much.
It's Illinois winning this game, going to the Elite Eight.
Yeah, I'm with you. I have the Fighting Illini going to the Elite Eight. Who do they play? San Diego State or Houston?
I got San Diego State.
So do I.
All right.
Yeah, so do I. So we are both going to be mad as hell if Jim Boeheim decides to pull off an upset in the first round. Illinois taking on San Diego State in the Elite Eight.
I got Illinois winning this game, going to the Final Four.
So do I.
Which is the only 1 seed I have, by the way.
This is true. I have 3 1s and a 3. You have
a 2, a 2, a 4, and a 1. I think.
There you go.
Right. I think Purdue's
you
a
have
4.
Iowa a 2, Alabama's a 2, Purdue is a 4, and Illinois is a 1. Okay. I have number 1 Gonzaga, although that might, the more I think about it, that might get switched to number 2 Iowa. The more I think about it. Number 1 Michigan, number 3 Arkansas, and number 1 Illinois. So in the national semifinals,
you want us to go to our Final Four now, or you want to take a break first?
Yeah, let's take a break first. We'll take a timeout, and then we'll go into the Final Four. That's coming up in a bit. Stick around.
Your first and last stop with your tax return should be with me, Tracy Bryden at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. No other dealer sells more cars, finances more, and gets you more for your refund than Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
WRS Wealth Advisors is the area's premier wealth and retirement specialist. With our combined 70 years experience and comprehensive wealth strategy, we assist our clients attain their goals. Call 330-965-0370 to learn more about our individual and corporate financial planning services, or visit WRSWealthAdvisors.com. Good luck, athletes!
Hi everyone, this is DJ Yoakley with Your Sports Network. We appreciate your support of YSN and welcome you to the YSN family. Our broadcast streams are brought to you live at no cost to you by sponsors that are local to this community. Without the vision and generosity of our sponsors and partners, we would not be able to bring this game to you today. So please support the great businesses and leaders that are making this game possible. And if you're a business in need of great advertising and sponsorship opportunities, feel free to head over to our site for more information on the right fit for you. We are local, we are loyal, and we are live. We are YSN.
Ah, the details. Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods is one fine ride. Perfect cornering, superb handling, sporty and stylish, power to spare, plus awesome mileage. Yeah, jaw-droppingly beautiful lines and well appointed with luxurious trim. Put more oomph in your life and start beholding the molding. Find your home's fine hardwood at BairdBrothers.com.
For heating, cooling, and indoor air quality, the Mahoning Valley trusts MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning, offering worry-free repair, service, and installation. Call MP Vivo today for a free estimate.
MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning. We're your energy-efficient experts.
At Hubbard Chevrolet, Hubbard can help you get the financing you need, regardless of your situation. I'm Tony Page, and I've helped thousands of customers in Northeast Ohio and Western Pennsylvania buy a vehicle. Bad credit, no problem. I can get you approved for a low-interest loan and maybe even a low-payment lease on a new car at the #1 Chevy dealership in Trumbull County for 3 years in a row. Visit HubbardChevy.com to get pre-approved or come see me, Tony Page, to get a new vehicle today. Remember, folks, Hubbard can help.
Welcome back to a Thursday edition of Running Point on YSNLive.com. Ron Potesta with you alongside Anthony Hartwig. We will take some calls on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning hotline in a bit. Right now, we got to finish up our bidness. The bidness of picking the winner in the upcoming NCAA tournament. We're down to our Final Four. Anthony likes #2 Iowa out of the West. I am sticking right now temporarily with the top seed Gonzaga Zags in the West. Anthony is all on Alabama, the #2 seed in the East. I am all about Michigan, gambling on the fact that Michigan is going to get healthy after this weekend and that they will be rip-roaring and ready to go. So, without further ado, the Iowa Hawkeyes, the Alabama Crimson Tide. Anthony, who goes to the national championship game?
I said it to start. I think Alabama's playing the best basketball right now in the bracket. I'm going to have them winning that game and going to the championship game.
Okay, I have Gonzaga and Michigan in the national semifinals, and I am all about Michigan. I'm all about the Wolverines. So you have Alabama out of the SEC. I have Michigan out of the Big Ten. The other half of the Final Four.
Big Ten matchup.
Anthony, you have a Big Ten matchup in #4 Purdue against top seed Illinois. I have #3 Arkansas against top seed Illinois. Who do you got in the national championship game?
Alabama's playing the best, but Illinois is the best team in the bracket. I have Illinois winning this game and going to the championship to beat with the Crimson Tide.
I have Illinois going to the national championship game as well. You have Illinois taking on Alabama. I have an all Big Ten national championship game, the Michigan Wolverines and the Fighting Illini out of Champaign-Urbana, Illinois, which is a stone throw away from the Windy City. Who do you got winning it all?
Illinois cuts the nets down this year. I think they're the best team in the bracket. I think they're going to prove it. I think they have the easiest route to the Final Four, to be honest. So they're going to be the freshest team in the Final Four come that time, and they're going to win the championship this year.
Can't believe that we agree on this. I have the Fighting Illini winning the national championship.
That means it's really going to come down to that one bracket that we disagree on.
Well, the one game.
If it's between you and me, it's going to come down.
Honestly, it's
to Texas Tech
and Arkansas. If they are both victorious in round #1, that Texas Tech Arkansas game is going to determine who winds up getting a better bracket. Oh, good Lord.
ESPN asks you to make a score prediction on the championship game for tiebreaker situations. I have Illinois beating Alabama 76-70. What's your score prediction?
72-65 Illinois over Alabama. Illinois over Michigan in the national championship game, 72-65. So we both have the Fighting Illini winning a national title. So that's interesting, and it's sad that our tournament brackets are going to be determined by one game in the round of 32.
Not really, because we also have dramatically different Final Fours. So, I mean, if Purdue makes it and Who do you have coming out of that one?
I have Arkansas.
Okay, so what's if Alabama makes it and Michigan doesn't, if Iowa makes it and Gonzaga doesn't? I mean, we have dramatically different Final Fours as well, and Final Fours are where the points are made.
That's true. I mean, except for the fact that we both have them in the Elite Eight. I have Gonzaga playing Iowa in the Elite Eight. I have Michigan playing Alabama in the Elite Eight. Now, you don't have Michigan in the Elite Eight.
I have Michigan getting upset by Florida State.
Yeah.
So there are some differences here and there.
Yeah.
But the biggest difference is, I think,
out of the South. I mean, if assuming Texas Tech and Arkansas both win,
they're going to be playing. And then if Texas Tech doesn't win, you know I'm going to be rooting hard for Utah State to beat Arkansas the next round.
Why would you?
Because I would lose less points because Texas Tech would be moving on in my bracket. So if naturally I would root for the team that beat them, because then other people would lose points too.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I see what you're doing.
It's a cutthroat bracket.
It's a cutthroat bracket. Yeah,
I don't root for you just because I lost. I root for your team to lose next. I mean,
wow.
Sorry,
okay.
I want to.
Well, I mean, look. I mean, we all now know that if Sister Jean had a bracket, you're pretty much,
I would be like locked in. Like I'm gonna beat you, Sister Jean.
If Georgia Tech weren't playing Loyola in the first round, would this hostility still be around?
No, I love Sister Jean.
Okay.
I rooted for her in the first, but now it's all bets are off because you're playing my team.
All right, I wanted to make sure that you didn't have a vendetta against Sister Jean.
Of course not.
Okay, yeah, that's gonna be a fascinating first round matchup. Number 8 Loyola Chicago, number 9 Georgia Tech,
minus the ACC Player of the Year.
Yeah, so. That'll be interesting to say the least.
Nobody knows the trouble.
Oh, Lord. All right, how many, the last report, how many teams are in the YSN 2021 tournament bracket? Because the last I saw, we had somewhere around 20-ish, 25-ish brackets filled out with various people from the YSN family and various friends of the YSN family as well, as Anthony does some serious. Anthony's doing some serious counting right now. So yeah, this. You can go to this bracket, and as soon as we have the official number, we'll give you the instructions on how to do this. And considering the fact an old person like me who is as computer illiterate as possible.
39 people right now in our bracket poll.
All right. So in considering I'm about as computer illiterate as you're going to get, and I was able to do this without too much trouble, it really isn't that big of a trouble.
No, it's pretty simple. You just you went through the app, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you download the Tournament Challenge app on the App Store, ESPN Tournament Challenge. The first thing it'll have you do is create a bracket. Create a bracket. Once you're done, it'll say create or join group. So you say create or join group, click on that, and then you search in the group. You search for I think it's a YSN
March Madness 2021, if I'm not mistaken.
Let me get the YSN 2021 Bracket Buster is the name of the group.
Okay, there you go.
So if you search YSN 2021, it'll pop up. I mean, you don't have to type it all in. Click on that, click join, and then you're right in there. And no password required because it's an open group.
And we are going to give the winner of this tournament some YSN merchandise.
Yep. And a lot of respect.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know what I'm going to do with all this merchandise, but
nothing, because Arkansas is losing to Texas Tech.
Okay, well, there you go. And that will be a Sunday matchup.
How about that, though? Friday at noon, right off the bat, both of our teams are so pivotal.
Yeah. So come 1 o'clock, if you see Anthony and I a little nervous.
If we're off screen, you know what's going on.
Yeah. If you see us a little nervous about our respective teams. And
Ron might have to break his vow and eat something if Arkansas is losing to Colgate.
Well, yeah, and we wanted to bring that up because yesterday I had made mention that
You confidently said you were not going to eat anything at this because you wanted to prove to all of us that you could go somewhere without eating.
And I believe that I can do this. Now, what works in my favor tomorrow, being the good Catholic that I am, we are in Lent season.
Sister Jean would be so proud.
Hey, enough of the sarcasm over there. I sense sarcasm. Okay? We're in Lent season, so by law, man-made, I am not allowed to eat meat on Fridays. I think it's the weirdest thing. Somehow,
now, see,
I envision Jesus eating a Big Mac
I'm not
on
Catholic.
Fridays.
Is it all meats or just like the clean?
It's all meat.
So not even like fish?
No, we can have fish.
Okay, fish
that's
isn't
not
meat.
Yeah, that's not meat.
But it is meat because you're killing on something that's alive.
And
eating the insides.
Technically, yes.
I don't understand, but I'm not trying to.
I'm honestly don't understand it either.
It was an honest question.
Yeah.
So you can eat fish.
I honestly don't.
So you can have anchovies on your pizza, but you can't have pepperoni.
I will.
Right? Because pepperoni is considered a meat.
Yes. Can't have pepperoni. Can't have sausage. Can't have chicken wings. Can't have.
You can't have anchovies on the, which is disgusting.
Yeah, I would never eat anchovies. That's not going to happen. However. And I probably shouldn't say this because our CEO will probably do this. Plain pizza.
That's what I get.
Is what I can eat. White pizza with salt and pepper and olive oil and cheese on it. I can eat that and banana peppers. I can eat that, but I cannot eat any meat on Friday because it's Lent season. So. Under a non-Lent...
We're going to get a big box of Lorna Doone cookies and put them right in the middle. Just to tempt Ron Potesta.
Y'all are really evil. I mean, that's just wrong on so many levels.
You're rooting for Sister Jean, so this is what you get.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm going to try. I can't promise anything because I would like to say that I'm losing weight. I'm not.
You're gonna have to not nervous eat.
Yeah, and that's where if Arkansas is in some serious trouble tomorrow, I may have to seriously throw down something. Just give me something to eat, something to munch on. Nervous eating is probably one of the reasons why I'm fat and not PHAT.
Not pH fat.
Yeah. It's the more I thought about, you can't go through a game without eating. Honestly, I think nervous eating is a big part of that. Where, okay, I'm watching a game, and the first thing I think of that I want to do is grab a hot dog if I'm at a baseball game. Got to grab a hot dog. And if I have a hot dog, well, then I got to grab a soda. If I grab a soda, well, I got to have chips to go with the soda. Well, if I have chips, well, shoot, I might as well have nacho chips, put some jalapenos on those bad boys, and let's go to town here. And then all of a sudden you've got,
This whole conversation started yesterday. If you missed it, Ron said he does not go to games for food.
I don't.
But the argument is if you go to the game and have to have food, then by definition, food is one of the reasons you go to a game.
No, it's there. If food wasn't there, I would obviously not be eating.
Would you go?
Yes.
Would you go if Progressive came out this year and said we're going to have fans in the stands, but we're not going to have any. You can't have any food there.
I would load up. I would load up and
bring your own food. That doesn't count.
No. I would load up and eat like a banshee before I go to the game.
Can't bring your own food either.
I'm saying I would load up and eat before I go to the game, and then go to the game and watch the game.
And you would last all 9 innings, and you would be okay without eating.
If I had to, yeah. I mean, well, okay. And this is probably a bad example because I'm broadcasting. And if I'm broadcasting a game, I can't eat.
Right.
Because if I broadcast a game, then you're going to go, down the line to the line, and that doesn't sound good on the air. That really doesn't. But at Crestview, I don't know if there were any other places that did this, but at Crestview High School, they didn't have any concessions, so nobody ate. Nobody had anything to eat. Nobody had anything to drink. Watch the game. Now, I did have water with me because you kind of get parched when you're doing the announcing and whatnot. So, but I didn't have any food. I just drank water when I was doing the game.
Mr. B would announce that there's no concessions, but then he'd be like, but there are several fine establishments right down the street if you want to go get food.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like, that's awesome.
Yeah. The other thing that just I just like shook my head and like only Mr. B would do this. He was telling everyone to stay certain centimeters away, and I'm like, dude, we're not in the metric system in this country. Why are you doing this?
People are whipping out their rulers like, wait a minute.
Yeah. I think it was like 300 centimeters. I think he said 300 centimeters, and I'm like...
For those of you that are Canadian, 300 centimeters.
Yeah.
Canadians on the metric side, right? Everyone except America.
Yeah, everyone except America is in the metric side.
We're built different.
Yeah. America. So 300 centimeters is actually 6 feet, or I think it's 300. I might be wrong on that.
Let's do conversions.
But he would say centimeters, and I'm like, wait a second. Don't you mean 6 feet? But Mr. B, he's the best. I love Mr. B, and we always had him on doing the starting lineups and whatnot because.
Okay. So 6 feet is 182.88 centimeters.
Okay, so 183 centimeters. I was
Round
off.
up 183.
Yeah, so 183 centimeters was what he said. So
I love my phone. I never have to do math anymore.
There you go.
Conversions. Oh, I can never do those. Like they always confuse me. When you had to do like the cross multiplication with the fractions to convert inches to.
Yeah.
I was always like this. I'm not. They're inches. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah, exactly. Why do we have to convert to whatever? We don't do centimeters
We're
or
different
whatever.
than London.
Although in track and field, we're no longer doing the 100 and 220 yard dash. Now it's 100 and 200 meters. So we are slowly, in some capacity, slowly turning toward the metric system.
It's funny that golf always use yards there, no matter where you are.
That's true.
This is a 385 yard. Whatever hole. They don't say meters.
Yeah, that's true.
Even like the British Open.
That is true. Very true. And it drives me nuts. I have some friends that are in Canada, and I'll ask them how warm is it today? Oh, it was 21 degrees. Wait a second.
Celsius.
It's summertime. Well, yeah, it's 21 degrees. I'm like, oh Jesus.
Add 32.
And they pull up this thing. No, you don't add 32.
I know.
It's a weird formula. So I now have a Celsius to Fahrenheit converter.
It actually, it makes a little bit more sense because Celsius freezing is 0. So 0, it's freezing.
Yeah.
Us, it's like random 32 is freezing. Like, why 32? Because we said so.
Yeah. So it's kind of weird. Anyway, the whole conversation was based on Mr. B. At Crestview, right. Every time he made the announcement, you have to be 6 feet away from each other. No, it wasn't 6 feet. 183 centimeters away from each other.
Kilometers always gets me. Like, we're going like 58 kilometers an hour, and it's like, how fast are we going? I don't know anything except miles per hour. What's this kilometer?
Although I kind of liked the kilometer instead of miles per hour because it makes my fastball better because I got higher numbers. So
I throw 116 miles
kilometers. I throw 90 kilometers an hour. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's only 40 some odd miles an hour, but hey, 90. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. All right, 330-886-0813. The MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline open for business. Who do you got in the Final Four? Love to hear your pick for the Final Four. Anthony and I both like the Fighting Illini to cut the nets down.
For the first time in program history. Their best finish was in 2005. They were runner-ups to North Carolina, I believe.
Yes. This might really, really suck if they get an early.
Well,
out of the tournament.
Hey, bracket time's not bracket time unless your bracket is trashed by the first weekend. So,
hopefully, fingers crossed. How many? 32 games. How many? How well have you done historically in the first 32 games?
My best brackets came when I was younger. First, I have a firm belief that the less you know, the better you do. There's just there's something to it. People tend to overthink it and dive into the numbers and the matchups and the analytics. It's like sometimes you just gotta be lucky. This team just has a good day. It's a one game. You have to be better for one 40-minute stretch. I remember one time when I was I think this was the year before Georgia Tech won the championship game. Well, went to the championship game. So it was 2004 when Syracuse won it with Carmelo Anthony. 2003. Sorry, Georgia Tech went in 2004. I went 30 for 32. I was 14 of 16 on one side and 16 of 16 on the other.
Wow.
And then I picked Syracuse to win it.
Good for you.
I smoked my fourth grade teacher.
There you go.
So and then of course I did really well in the next. That's one of the reasons I'm a Georgia Tech fan, is because I picked Georgia Tech to go to the championship game, and they did it. They went there. I picked them to win. They lost to UConn, but I had the game right. I had UConn versus Georgia Tech. So my brothers would always hate me because they'd be like, "What? This little 13-year-old kid is killing us in the brackets."
Yeah, exactly. I think the best I've ever done is 26 out of 32. I've done 24 a few times, but 26 out of 32 is the best I could do. That's tough. That's tough. I mean, you know there's going to be some upsets. It very rarely, if at all, has it ever gone straight chalk.
Right.
You know there's going to be some upsets. You just got to figure out which one is the upset.
Almost never all 4 1 seeds. It's happened a couple times, but almost never do all 4 1 seeds make it. Some of them stub their toe somewhere. They usually don't lose. They never lose in the first round except for once. But they stub their toe somewhere.
A lot of them stub their toe in the round of 32 when they go to 1-8 or 1-9. And
then, if you're Duke, you're almost. It's funny. Duke's history: they're either they're either getting upset in the first round, losing in the Sweet 16, or winning a championship. There's no in between. If they're in the Final Four, they're usually winning it no matter what. But the tripping points for Duke's history has been the first round and Sweet 16. So, whatever that means, they're out of this too.
Yeah, Duke and Kentucky are both out. The last time,
which means North Carolina can actually overpass Kentucky in program tournament wins. I think they're 3 wins behind. So if North Carolina pulls off an amazing run and gets to the Elite 8, then they would tie Kentucky for most program tournament wins.
That'd be interesting.
That won't happen, but
no, definitely not. The last time Duke and Kentucky were not in the NCAA tournament go back to 1976, and that was the year Bobby Knight led the Indiana Hoosiers to an undefeated season and swept right through the NCAA tournament. We have an undefeated team that is favored to win
the stars
the tournament.
Are aligning.
Yeah.
I hope not, because that's not what I picked. But
yeah, we do have a team that is favored to win the NCAA tournament in Gonzaga. The only thing is, Gonzaga's never won the NCAA tournament before, and I don't know if they've ever been to the Final Four or not. I know that Gonzaga has made a lot of early exits. We'll see what happens. I have them in the Final Four, but I have them getting beat in the national semifinal game. So we'll see what happens. But this should be fun. This should be a fun tournament this year. 330-886-0813.
I'm looking up Gonzaga's best tournament finishes just so we can have some.
Okay.
Let's see.
Yeah, the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning hotline open for business. 330-886-0813. Anthony and I both have Illinois winning the national championship game. Anthony has Illinois knocking off Alabama. I have Illinois knocking off Michigan.
So in the last tournament they played, which is 2019, they lost to Texas Tech in the regional final, which is the Elite 8, right? So they all got to the Elite Eight last time they played.
Okay.
2018, they lost to Florida State in the regional semifinal.
That's the Sweet 16.
2017, they lost to North Carolina in the national championship game.
Okay, so they have gone to the national title game.
2016, they lost to Syracuse in the regional semifinal. So they're getting to the Sweet 16 almost
Sweet 16,
consistently.
okay.
15, they lost to Duke in the regional final.
All right, the Elite Eight.
2014, they lost to Arizona in the second round.
All right, so that was round of 32.
2013, they lost to Wichita State in the second round.
Okay.
2012, they lost to Ohio State in the second round.
Okay.
So they had a long stretch where they weren't getting anywhere. Let's see, 2010, they lost to Syracuse in the second round. 2009, they lost to North Carolina in the regional semifinals. And in their first tournament appearance in 2009, they lost to Davidson in the first round. That was, of course, Steph Curry.
All right.
The Davidson
Okay,
Wildcats.
so they have been to the Final Four once. They got to the national championship game and lost to North Carolina.
Yep.
All right.
But their recent history, they've been getting there. They've been, Elite Eight last time, Sweet 16 2 years ago. Well, two tournaments ago. 3 tournaments ago, they lost in the national semifinal. Lost in the national final, and then 4 tournaments ago, they lost in the regional semifinal. So
yeah, they've been Sweet 16, Elite 8, and Final Four.
Yeah, they're not uncompetitive. They're definitely getting there. And we'll see if this is their year.
Yeah, and again, it's the stars could be aligned for a run for Gonzaga because, again, the last time Duke and Kentucky were not in the tournament, an undefeated team won the NCAA tournament, the 1975-76 Indiana Hoosiers, led by Bobby Knights, as Indiana was undefeated for the entire season. Gonzaga is undefeated. They are the odds-on favorite to win the tournament. Anthony and I both like Illinois in this one. And Illinois is interesting because they've never won a national championship game. They've gone to the national title game once. Like Gonzaga, they've gone to the national title game once.
So when you look at Gonzaga's schedule, they opened the season with a 10-point win against Kansas. Then they beat Auburn pretty handily. They beat West Virginia by 5. They beat Iowa by 11. But then after that, you look at their schedule, not a lot of tournament teams. They play BYU twice, and BYU's a 6th seed. But you can see, the conference they play in, no offense to the conference, it's straight garbage.
Yeah. No, and BYU, we both have said BYU is going to be upset by Michigan State.
They beat BYU by 10 in the conference championship.
Okay.
So, I know Gonzaga's undefeated. They're a very good team, but they're obviously beatable. You look at these scores. They beat Iowa by 11. They beat, Kansas by 10. They beat Auburn by 13. And they beat West Virginia by 5. So, they play close games. They just score a crap ton of points. So, you have to be on. You have to score.
Yeah.
Or, in my opinion, when they run into Iowa, they're going to be slowed down a little bit. Can Gonzaga win a game if they don't score 75, 70 points? I don't know.
The more I think about this, the more I want to put Iowa in the Final Four, but the only thing that's holding me back is the Big Ten jinx. That's what's holding me back. So
Look, if there's a time for the Big Ten schools to do it, it's the time when the ACC is kind of down.
That's true.
So
and the ACC is without Duke this year.
It's not a North Carolina we're used to. They're in the tournament, but they're not everyone's favorite North Carolina team. And the highest seed they have is Florida State at 4, I think.
Would it really surprise you if North Carolina, and now you don't have them beating Wisconsin?
No, I have Wisconsin winning that game.
But would it surprise you if North Carolina, if they beat Wisconsin, and they're matched up against top seed Baylor, Would it surprise you if North Carolina upset Baylor and went on to the Sweet 16?
No, because I think it's matchups. I think North Carolina, that'd be a really high-scoring game, high-tempo, and I think North Carolina can win that kind of game. I think Wisconsin's a little bit more slow the game down, hold North Carolina when they can, and North Carolina's going to need defense to win that game, and they haven't shown the ability to play consistent defense. That's why I don't think they match up well with Wisconsin. But if they win that game, I think Baylor's on serious upset alert.
It'd be interesting.
So,
I'm looking at this.
I think actually Baylor matches up a lot better with Wisconsin than they do with North Carolina.
Because I have Baylor and North Carolina in the second round, and I have Baylor advancing, but Baylor gets beat by Purdue in the Sweet 16. I'm not going to change it, but it wouldn't surprise me if it were North Carolina playing Purdue in the Sweet 16. Just throwing it out there. It wouldn't surprise me. I'm not going to change it. The one I'm actually now really tempted to change is Iowa over Gonzaga in the Elite Eight.
You know,
I'm going to probably stay where it is, though.
Really fun, though. We're going to come in on Monday, and because the schedule's a little bit altered, we'll have almost all of our Sweet 16 teams already locked in.
Yeah.
I think half of them.
Yes.
And the other eight.
The other half will be the West and East.
The other 8 teams will be playing on Monday, probably during our show. So I'll be. Anthony, what's up? Anthony, you there? Anthony's not there.
Anthony's going to be looking at the TV going, okay, what's going on here?
Hey there, Ant. Anthony's not there. I'll be giving play-by-play.
Yeah. Well, there's a copyright infringement.
No. I'm not. It's only copyright if you put the video. You can do audio play-by. I mean, like, because you can't copyright what's actually happening. You can just copyright your video of it. If my understanding, I didn't go to law school, so I have no idea.
Well, you can update. I don't think you can do play-by-play, but you can update.
That's true, because I guess you couldn't go there and just set up your own radio broadcast and just do it, because...
Yeah.
But you can get credentials to do it. Like, CBS does not own the rights to play-by-play.
Oh, no. I mean, stringers make a pretty nice amount of money. And, and the rule in this is... I know it's this way in NBA games. Lord knows I've been to enough of them. You can call, like Fox Sports and ESPN Radio have both done this historically in the past, where they will have a stringer in a particular game, and they will have updates from that person. Now, they say it's live. It really isn't live. It's more like a minute or so taped in advance. Preferably during the commercials. But they will have their stringer tell everyone what's going on. Hey, 5 minutes and change to go in the second quarter, and then they just go through, like if it's Gonzaga's leading Missouri 64-55 with about 9 minutes left in the ball game. Gonzaga's being led by XYZ, who's scoring 35 points tonight. And then they just, as long as it's like a minute and no longer than a minute, no problem. But as soon as you go a little bit further past that, that's when the suits kind of get a little bit out of shape. Yeah. And then you can't do play-by-play. You have to, you basically have to announce the factual part of it. Now, if someone misses an extra point, you can say the extra point was just missed by, who
So ESPN Radio can't have broadcasts of the NCAA games. Just on radio. Not video, but just radio.
I don't know who owns the rights now. I
I
know Westwood used to own it.
Who knows?
Yeah. But whoever owns the rights, they're the ones that are going to be doing the play-by-play and whatnot. And then the other folks can send a stringer, and they can talk about the game for about a minute, no more than a minute. And that satisfies everyone listening to the other stations.
The more you know.
Yeah. That's how they do that in I know that's how they do it in the NBA. That's definitely how they do that in the NFL. And I'm pretty sure it's the same way in Major League Baseball.
Now, what's funny is like the NFL, you still have your home radio station.
Oh yeah,
doing the games.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is completely fine.
Yes, yeah, they've paid for the negotiating rights, and they paid the organization a certain amount of money to put the games on the air.
And for a place like Kansas City, that radio station is picked up by a lot of different markets because they're in the middle of a bunch of. So that gets simulcast in markets in Iowa, markets in Kansas.
Oh yeah, there's affiliates,
right.
yeah, all over the place. And I know. Now with the Browns, it was really strange with the Browns, and being formerly with iHeart, when the Browns decided to go in an opposite direction of iHeart, because they used to have their games on WTAM out of Cleveland, which is an iHeart radio station. When they decided to go to where they are now, which I believe is 93.7 The Fan and or 92.3 The Fan, I'm sorry, and WKNR, the other sports station. I guess they share the rights. All of the iHeart stations said, "You're not picking up Browns football." Nobody's picking up Browns football. If you're an iHeart station, Browns are taboo. You're not picking up Browns football. And so when we had all kinds of people wondering, "Hey, how come you guys aren't airing the Browns games?" That's why we didn't air the Browns games, because iHeart said we lost the rights to Cleveland Browns football in Cleveland, so none of you are going to be picking up the Cleveland Browns as an affiliate. We don't want you to pick them up. So that's why.
So did those Cleveland stations have any affiliates locally?
Oh yeah,
local fans
not locally in Youngstown.
So like locally here.
So like the last couple of years,
Youngstown listeners have no way unless they go online to that radio station's website.
If they go to WONE, which is like 97.5 out of Akron, it's a rock station out of Akron, and I believe there was a radio station in Newcastle, WKST, that was doing the games. Other than that, you'd have to go to their website.
And nowadays, you can just go stream a radio station from. I mean, I can go listen to Kansas City radio right now.
Oh, I know, it's great.
Which is,
yeah.
What's the point of
yeah. It's streaming is definitely been a major part.
It's not radio anymore.
No,
because it's.
I mean, you still have the radio station, and the radio station is still doing reasonably well. But now that it's streamed, you have all kinds of different accessibility to that particular station. So if you live in northeastern Ohio...
But it's funny, I can't get... You have to be in the radio station to get the copyrighted games. Like, I can't listen to a Chiefs game here.
Oh, I know.
Radio station.
Yeah.
And you can only listen to it if you get the actual radio station.
Yeah, same thing with... in Buffalo, WGR is the sports station.
If you're screwed out of Browns games here in Youngstown, you can't go online to get it either.
No,
you're screwed.
Yeah, you're basically watching the TV, and then you're at the mercy of the television broadcasters. Where I know a lot of radio.
Historically, the Browns get the lower end of the CBS announcers.
Well,
not this year because they were good.
Yeah,
and when you're good, you get the better announcers. But historically, you'd get the lower rung.
Here's the other fly in the ointment, which has just really people don't understand this genre of the television aspect of it. So Youngstown is in the middle of two National Football League teams,
right.
The Browns and the Steelers. The argument that everyone isn't quite aware of with WKBN TV and the CBS affiliate in town. The argument for everyone is, well, how come the Browns are on this week, but they're not on all the time? Here's the rule. By rule, this is a National Football League rule. By rule, if you are in a marketplace that houses more than one NFL product, and Youngstown is one of very few markets that do, the team that will be aired on local TV on your station is going to be the team that is going to be playing on the road. So if both teams are playing at the exact same time on the exact same network, and one team is playing their games at home and the other team is playing their game on the road, you're going to be watching the game that's going to be on the road.
Which makes sense because that's the one that you can't even try to go to.
Exactly. Now, here's where it gets fun. What happens
if both of them are
at home or both of them are on the road, and it's at the exact same time on the exact same channel? Who do you go to? That's when they leave it up to the
station,
to the local station to say,
and
this is yours.
Do they lean towards Browns or Steelers, or do they try to make
Honestly,
it even?
I don't know how they do that. My guess is now sometimes they get bailed out because there are times when
that can't happen too often where they're both playing at the same time and they're also both at home. I'm sure the schedulers are probably a little bit savvy to that.
You're right. It doesn't happen very often, but there are times when you get bailed out when Pittsburgh is playing it or Cleveland's playing an NFC team and they're playing at home. Well, now they're going to be on Fox. So
sometimes those interconference games can be on. Now it's funny. The last couple of years, CBS gets a couple of NFC games out of nowhere.
Yeah, that one,
which is weird.
That one I've been scratching my head
and then
with.
I feel like if it's at an NFC place, then Fox gets it. But if it's at AFC, then CBS gets it.
Normally, it's the road team. If you're playing a home game against an interconference opponent, the road team determines which network is. Right. Like when the Bills played the Rams in Orchard Park this past year, that game was on Fox because the Rams were the road team. Those rules. A lot of people are like, oh, KBN or KBN TV or someone's picking on us. No, they're not picking on you. They have a rule.
I want to give someone a TV contract for the NFL and show them how long it is and how many things go into, like what you can and can't do with the NFL broadcast, because it's a lot more complicated than people understand.
It drives people nuts. I know it drives me nuts. That's why I love the NFL ticket, because you can get the games that are blacked out.
If you're rich.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
If you spend money, irresponsibly.
What they're good at is every year they'll bump up the price.
Man, you're preaching to the choir on that one.
We got rid of it.
Let's go to Ron. Ron, you're on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline. What's going on, Ron?
Yes, is this a joint where I can put all my Monopoly money down on Boardwalk?
Yes. The best places to put your property on Monopoly though are the orange ones, because apparently they're the most landed on.
Oh yeah, I was with you.
I think it's like Tennessee and
New Jersey and
the two orange places are the two that are
St. James Place.
Yeah, they recommend you buy those ones first because apparently they're the most landed on.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how or why, but statistically,
very, very interesting.
I always landed in jail, but that's neither here nor there.
Watch
with the guy pointing at you.
You know this bracket is going to be. Well, it's always nerve-wracking, but I can't believe you guys gave up on Gonzaga.
What?
Do you think Gonzaga wins the whole thing?
No. Here's me. First
we didn't give up on them. If you don't think they're going to win, we don't think they're going to win. We didn't give up.
First of all, I'm going to tell you who's going to throw your whole bracket off right out of the gate.
Okay.
It's about 70 miles away. Cleveland Vikings.
That's gonna
hurt you.
I so want to take Cleveland State in this game. I really want to. I would love to see it.
I don't know, Ron. Cleveland State's really young, and they play a lot of Horizon League games. This is a whole different level. They haven't seen any defense that comes close to Houston. Their offense is in a struggle.
Their defense is pretty good.
Their defense is good too, but it's like I say, it's a different level. They haven't been exposed to anything enough.
Let me just throw this out, because I know, Ron, you're a straight up guy that would never do anything illegally. So when I say to legally, I mean to go to West Virginia or to Pennsylvania to do this. Cleveland State is a 20-point underdog against Houston. If you were to do a $100 money line bet on Cleveland State, And that is, money line means that you believe Cleveland State wins the game outright. A $100 bet right now on Cleveland State is worth $1,626.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's worth $1,626. Let me take this a step further. If you believe that Cleveland State, and they already have a first half odds out.
Cleveland State lost by 7 to Fort Wayne. They're not beating Houston.
All right. Cleveland State is an 11.5-point underdog in the first half. If you were to put $100 on Cleveland State to win the first half, you would get $646 on your $100 bet.
Okay.
Yeah. That's not too shabby.
And now even the Buckeyes, the last they played 3 games in a row. They played Illinois tough. I mean, they lost. You could say they were tired, but I'm going to agree with you guys with Illinois though. Now Michigan, is anybody hurt on Michigan team?
Yes, their star player is, but he may not be out for the entire tournament. If they can get through the weekend, he should be able to get back for the Sweet 16 matchup.
Okay. Yeah, I like Illinois. I was just messing with you guys. Well, no, Cleveland State now I think they can, but I like Illinois.
Well, listen, Cleveland State plus 20 is appealing to me. I think Cleveland State can hang with Houston. I just don't think they can beat Houston.
As long as they don't play like they did in their second game against Wright State. It's the one game where they just haven't played good. I mean, they got beat 85 to 49.
That was after they beat them on national TV, because Wright State did the same thing to Youngstown State. YSU beat Wright State in the first game on national TV, and then the next night, Wright State just beat the living daylights out of Youngstown State. They did the same thing to Cleveland State.
Now, you guys pick Virginia over Ohio?
Nope, I got Ohio winning that game.
So do I. I have Ohio upsetting Virginia.
Okay. That sounds pretty good. I was listening to you and Champ the other day, Ron.
Yeah.
Well, my sister, she graduated from Ohio too. That's why I'm kind of.
Oh, okay.
I went down to a couple games down there.
Yeah, Ohio is a 7.5-point underdog in this game right now.
Okay. Yeah, this should be pretty good. This should be really, really interesting. You know, it was sad we had the virus going through. You know, because it's still affecting some people.
Yeah.
Even now, it's like being sports guys. You all know a lot more because you follow a lot more. But now I pay attention with the women's team, UConn. You figure them to run the whole table?
I do. I filled out my women's bracket. I picked UConn to beat Stanford in the championship.
Let me ask you.
Their coach, I think, had a little touch of that virus.
He did. He tested positive on Sunday.
And what's the girl's name? She's supposed to be the best out of on that team.
The freshman. Her name is slipping my mind right now.
Yeah, he's supposed to be really nice.
But the good thing for UConn is that his assistant coach has been with him since the beginning, so she knows everything about that program. She's done run it just as well as he does.
Did you have Wright State winning a game?
No.
Okay.
And the women, no.
All right.
Was that it you were talking about? Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. It's time that
my women's bracket's not on my phone. It's printed out, so I can't tell you exactly who all my picks are, but I filled that one out right after I did the men's bracket, and I'm just as excited for that one as I am for the guys. Georgia Tech's a 5 seed in that. So
nice. There you go. Well, they have a little bit better of a chance.
They're playing Stephen F. Austin.
Okay, so if they lose, are you going to be blaming the sister with that one as well?
No, I don't think Stephen F. Austin has a sister.
No. I was
and
just
she did
thinking.
When your best player goes down with COVID a day before the game, something is a little bit shifty, and I think Sister Jean might have had something to do.
Man.
See, I'm a believer in some religion now. That's why when
she's got some.
That, I was biting my tongue.
She put some religion on him. That's all.
Wow. Poor Sister Jean. She's getting no respect from Anthony right now.
Playing with the big boys, man.
Hey, okay, guys.
All righty, sir. Appreciate the call.
Take care.
330-886-0813. I'm just throwing it out there. So, Sister Jean, if Georgia Tech's women lose, she's off the hook on this one.
She's off the hook. That's,
okay. All right. Because I want to make sure that she's not getting any kind of backlash.
No, I told you, it's just this game.
All right.
Like, even if we beat Loyola, we lose to Illinois, I'm not going to blame Sister Jean.
Okay. All right. Just
even though she took out the ACC Player of the Year.
That's Anthony's story, and he's sticking to it.
She took him out, man.
Oh,
Sniped him with COVID.
Lordy. And for all we know, he does not have COVID.
It just said COVID concerns. I don't know what that means.
I wonder if that is contact tracing.
It might be, because I know that when we landed in Indianapolis on Monday, a member of the Georgia Tech traveling party tested positive, and he was quarantined immediately. So then it's kind of fishy that happens, and then 3 days later, one of our players tests positive, or at least is out for the weekend. No, I don't know if he tested positive.
Wouldn't everyone be quarantined if someone? I mean, that's kind of.
I don't know how that works. I don't know if they tested everyone else on the spot. No one else was positive.
Wow.
They're probably being tested like 3 times a day.
This is the other part of what makes this tournament interesting, is the fact that
anyone could be
be taken out pretty quickly.
Not just a team, but a player. A player can just
and that could really change an awful lot of people's fortunes in terms of the bracket. So
this is nice things.
Yeah, this is going to be really interesting to see what happens and who winds up winning the national championship. The healthiest team may wind up winning the national title.
When I saw that news last night, I put "Hello Darkness, My Old Friend" on repeat.
Oh, wow. Wow. All righty. The over-under, I'll throw it out there, and then we'll turn it over to DJ and the fellas. The over-under on the amount of food that I eat tomorrow.
We're getting plain pizza. You're going to have 2 slices.
Okay, so if there's plain pizza, if somebody orders white pizza...
I don't think you can stay away from it. I don't think you can. Especially if you stay here for more than one game. Because basketball games are pretty short. You know, they'll be over an hour and a half.
Now, here's the thing. Because I have a Friday off, I will head over to the Italian-American Club and get my fish dinner. Because our fish dinners are really good. But if I'm staying here till the second game, which is 6 o'clock, somewhere thereabouts.
Yeah, I think that if it's like it's going to be a 12 o'clock game, and then there are going to be a couple games that start at 2. 12 o'clock games will be over, and there'll be a couple games that start at 4 after those 12 o'clock games.
So the afternoon, the afternoon round.
There's usually a break after those 4 o'clock games until about like 7:30.
Yeah. So if I'm
for the local news.
Exactly. I'm gonna.
And I'll tell you, I'll be here for the Georgia Tech game because I can't get home by 4. So.
Yeah, I'm going to try like crazy not to eat anything tomorrow. I think I can do it, but we'll see.
This is my favorite time of year, and my stomach's always like I've never having a team in it sucks. It just does.
Just a reminder, tomorrow, Anthony and I are going to be on pins and needles immediately because the Texas Tech-Utah State game and the Arkansas-Colgate game, very important in our South Regional tournament
you have
brackets.
Arkansas in the Final Four.
Yeah, I have a team going to the Final Four.
And I have Texas Tech in the Elite Eight.
Yeah, so
if they both win, then I'm gonna be tweeting you a lot on Sunday.
Yeah, the Sunday game between Texas Tech and Arkansas will be interesting if they both win. If they both lose, you will see Anthony and I.
I mean, if they both lose, it's a scratch, right?
Yeah, but it's going to hurt me more,
right?
Because I have a Final Four team out. Then I'll do a lot of eating, which I don't want to do.
See, I'm gonna if Arkansas game goes final first, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut because I don't want karma to come back and bite me. And have Texas Tech lose on a buzzer beater while I'm making fun of Ron for losing to Colgate.
There you go. On that note, we're out of here. Join us tomorrow. We're not on the air, but we're going to be on the air over at HQ.
For Running Point.
We're all going to be taking part in the March Happiness version of the NCAA tournament.
Maybe happiness.
Yeah, well, hopefully it's happiness for us.
Maybe despair.
Yeah.
Maybe
gloom,
cold-hearted abyss.
Gloom, despair, and agony on me, yes. DJ and the fellas coming up next with Power Hour. We will talk tomorrow as we will all be together watching the first round of the NCAA tournament